till now, so.
Bing chilling.
Bija
Where's
and
wrong? Bing Ching.
Yeah. Okay, now I am recording as normal.
He's not entering the call.
Then we assume he working then. Don't keep calling him.
Okay.
Um either way, we're gonna jump right back into it where we left off. BL staggering to the edge of the tent in pretty much the worst agony he's ever felt. There is very little that could compare to this except for the bite of a red dragon, perhaps. As it feels very similar as if your hand is being burnt. And your muscles, something you didn't quite anticipate, in your forearm, your muscles are like tensing. As if they're trying to hold something together that isn't there. It is a strange, like, pulsating pain and a weird burning sensation that you're immediately having to, like, hold it as tight as you can to stop blood flow. And Willow, last session at the end, quickly staunched that flow to stop you from bleeding out. Rias
Nimmy.
also departed. Yep, Nimmy. I don't know. I would say your
Can't remember that, can you?
Nope, never do. But our man Rias also teleported away with Tarmal at the end after a quick show of counterspelling by Godwin and you, William. So you guys are now left in this tent. Just your party, minus Skins, as he ran away last session. After being enslaved, you are now here with acid rain pouring outside, just outside the massive doors of a broken, ruined castle. Everything is bright red, as the entire place seems to have that strange pigmentation, even yourself. That's a small catch-up for what happened last session. Right now, he told you you have food in the desk, but you don't know how long this rain's going to last, and...
I want to check how much food there is in the dresser or something. Whatever he said, chest.
There's a desk that is like they're like a
Desk.
Yeah, he had apparently brought it in. It's a pretty fancy desk, and you open up some of the drawers, and there's like a secret compartment you find, not very secret as it's actually left open, probably for you to find, and it's all stuffed with food, nothing else but food in there.
How many rations?
Yeah, after counting up the rations, you probably have a week of food for your entire party. So, like, 7 days for everyone.
Okay. Are we like starving right now? Haven't we like not ate?
No, he fed you just before you left.
Oh, I didn't remember that. Okay.
Yeah, I think I remember, like, telling him, or saying that he brought food in, and it was, like, the most disgusting meal you've ever eaten.
Do we still have the hand here? They cut off?
Yeah, the hand is just sitting on the table. And it's kind of jarring to look down at your forearm in extreme agony, BL, and just look at the table, and the table's, like, covered in blood with your hand just sitting there.
I'm just holding the stump, just like, oh God, that little. And
Godwin is like shying away. He's like, I'm sorry. He's like hiding in the corner pretty much, like trying to stay away from you.
the crappy sword that I had. Wait, he didn't give. I have a sword.
Yeah, he gave you back
Yeah,
your sword.
Yeah, I'll
Wait,
take my
gave
shield and armor back.
Wait, I got my like.
Magic sword.
Oh, I got my sword back.
Yeah, Tarmo
you
gave
got
it back
your cool
to you after
sword.
getting your hand cut off.
I mean, that's worth it because now I get a cannon hand. So
Maybe.
I just kind of like point my sword toward him. I'm just like, you're lucky. You are lucky. That. And then he starts. He's about to start to say like, sorry, my friggin' mouth is being weird. He goes to. He looks at him, and as he's trying to like talk and threaten him, he's just slowly kind of slouching more and more down, and he finally just kind of falls to the ground and just like exhausted. Her joined.
So,
Oh, I joined so I can see the map at some point.
You joined on a separate account?
That's what I did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I joined on
Um,
Faded Dimensions so I can look
Faded
at the.
Dimensions and Child Killer.
I made it whenever I was 12, bro.
It's better than Child Killer Toucher.
I made that as a joke as William, and now I notice how bad it is, and I need to change it.
It's funny.
Nah, man. You gotta
No,
live by that.
I should not. I need to change it.
So is this
Okay.
gonna be a role play session or a combat-y session?
This is going to be roleplay during your survival aspects, but also you're likely going to combat sometime in here. It's a pretty dangerous place.
Like during this session?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to yell as loud as I can. Monsters, come and get me! I'm a shy little princess.
What?
I'm, I'm making a goof.
Is that an animal handling check or a persuasion check?
I mean, you know that there's the giant flying thing. If y'all remember that, it's somewhere
Oh
outside.
no, is this still coming towards us?
You want to go outside and look?
I want to just look
Can-
against the tent. I'm like,
Make a perception
Yeah.
check.
you know in Siege whenever you can tilt your head over whenever you're aiming, I'm doing that.
You mean lean? Yes. I know
Yeah,
what leaning is.
yes.
Do you know that thing
Well, I
where
don't-
you like
you never
tilt
played
part of your
Siege.
body to look around corners?
Yo, listen, guys.
Make a perception check.
Okay, I'm gonna go to my phone.
I have to make a perception check right now, dude. I'm about to talk
Wait,
myself out.
Eden called me. 1 second, I'm gonna call him back.
God, what? How do you miss that?
I didn't have my phone on me.
How? You just had your phone. You tapped a second earlier.
Yo, Eden,
What's up?
D&D?
I can't.
Why?
I've been hanging out with Jacob.
Okay.
So he's at Jacob's house.
Yeah, I've been at Jacob's house like all day.
All right. What do you want your character to do for the entire session since you're not here?
I don't know, make him like curl up and cry in a corner because he's a little loser.
That's what Trent literally just
Yeah.
did. Was make him go into the corner, shy away.
Shy away from BL.
Yeah, that works.
All right. Bye.
See ya.
Okay. No. That's my perception.
Hurry up, you're being slow.
+5.
It doesn't mean anything.
What?
You just said
No,
plus
I had to
5.
do I had to see what my perception was. A 16.
Right, with a 16, you glance out, leaning to see as far as you can to the distance, and you don't see the dot like where you originally saw it. It is kind of worrying, yes, but also it could have flown away. It also could just be at literally any other angle, as most of your view is actually obscured because the castle sits right in front of you, maybe 60 foot from you, and it blocks most of your vision. You're looking at like the edges of where you can see. It could be anywhere around you and you couldn't see it, but you don't see it, so that might be a good sign.
Oh, the flying thing is not there, so... is there anything else here besides just food in the tent?
Other than you left your equipment that he said was diseased outside. So-
I didn't drop it.
Oh, you kept yours?
I didn't believe him.
Okay, so you kept your shield and armor while everybody else, I guess, threw theirs down. Right now, the only thing in this tent is there's your food rations, there's the tent itself, which you can probably take with you, there's the desk,
should do that.
which you probably can't take with you, and any gear you have on yourselves.
Wait, can we lift up the tent above our heads?
What do you mean by that?
Like, we just grab the tent up.
You could lift
Or
the
is it
tent
like
up with it. Yeah, you could take apart the tent and carry it with you if you wanted.
Okay.
It is storming outside. Acid rain is still happening.
Okay, so do you guys want to stay here for a little bit, run out into the open, or go to the castle? We didn't explore all the way, so let's say castle. It's more
Why not?
prior room. Okay, BL.
He kind of lifts it. He stands back up after taking a short power nap. He just goes, well, we can't really explore when there's acid rain. We're just going to have to sprint to the castle.
Okay. You guys want to take the tent with us? That's probably a smart idea.
Godwin cuts in and just goes, I don't think it's that smart to bring our only cover into a place that's actively collapsing. I'll stay here and watch the food. How about you guys head in?
Yeah, I don't want you to be around us anyways, so you can
I understand that.
stay here.
I go to flip him off, but realize I can't flip him off anymore.
Just lift up your stump.
Yeah, I lift up my stump and I look at it. And I like, with a moment of realization, I'm like, oh my god! And I just start walking out of the tent.
Hey! Before we leave, hey Nimi, can you like put his hand and mend it back on?
Yeah.
You can't mend it back on. You can like stop the flow of blood, which you did already with just a spare the dying.
No.
But you
No,
can't.
let's try mending it. Let's mend it. Come on,
That
fix
spell
it.
would be too powerful that way.
Okay, could you fix that?
Mm-hmm. I'll try.
Okay.
Are we
I
are
will,
we are we racing
I
a
want you to
cantrip
make-
on this?
it's a cantrip. You can't waste anything. Make it.
That's fair.
Make a medicine check.
Waste of time.
Just
No.
make a medicine check as you like
He has a good medicine
unwrap
check.
the bandage and like hold it together. Start casting mending.
What is your? Okay, so her medicine check is a +8. So
Roll a d20 plus 8.
The 6. Not 6.
14
six-
then.
14.
Damn.
16? Wait, what'd you say?
Yes.
16 plus 8 is 24.
So you you hold his hand together and orient it correctly, cast mending, and you start to feel your muscles stitch back together, and your bone also connects slightly. But the damage is extensive, and this is not what the spell is used for. And all that ends up happening is it re-sparks your agony tenfold, because now the neurons are reconnected, and you feel the pain of your hand's weight starting to tear it free of its bindings again. Basically, like an 80th of your hand stitched back together, and immediately begins to tear itself back apart with just the weight of it. And so it sends your muscles in your cut forearm back into convulsion as the muscle memory kicks back in. And just another wave of agony washes over you. As bad, if not worse. Because now it's not one cut that did it. It is a bunch of small tears that take your arm back off again. That, while being an extremely, extremely lucky roll, can't alter the use
And
of
that's
the
a
spell.
20.
Yeah, it just makes it painful.
I'm guessing a natural 20 might have done something.
I probably would have given it if it's a natural 20. At least some usage. Maybe like make it detrimental for a little bit, but eventually it'll come back. But this, it just stitches together and immediately starts to fall back apart.
Damn. Okay.
Let's just keep the hand because it seems like it almost worked.
Yeah, you should do that every day. It would totally be worth it.
Yeah.
So you guys
I
charge
put
out
the-
into the castle?
Yeah.
You run
Yes.
through the rain
Yeah.
once again. Remember, you haven't gotten a rest since before, but I don't think you took that much damage before. And you find yourselves back in the place you exited from, which is with a hole in the ceiling, rain pouring in. The entire place is still colored red, though there's shadows here as next to no light exists. You're in the armory room where you looted, and the wall you come in is also obviously has damaged the floor above you. This right now seems like a very, very strange, a very peculiar sight for the one who hasn't been described it before. But you have now in front of you the two entranceways, one that goes even deeper and one that goes out into like a ball style room almost. And you guys hear the rain pounding outside and have felt the sting and see it melting into the stones even more and know that this room's floor is likely going to give out somewhat soon. If you walk on it, it'll probably collapse, the center of the room at least. There is some garbage weapon left around, but it's supposedly diseased. So, whatever you decide to do.
Do I feel disease while holding my shield?
That isn't how diseases work, so not yet, no.
Am I sick or something? Okay.
Not yet, no.
William does not believe it,
Okay.
no matter what.
You
Even
guys
if he
could
does get
recollect
disease.
weapons if you don't trust Rias's vocalizations about it being diseased.
Nah, not
BL,
Huh?
do you want some armor since you're kind of...
if it's
No.
disease, I'm
Yeah.
not taking it.
You say if
Can
it
you
was
not?
diseased?
Can you not? Wait, don't you have? Doesn't clerics get detect poison and disease or something like that?
He's not a cleric.
No, BL, not BL, Nimi.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, I think you have that spell.
Yeah, they they definitely get that.
But you're down a few spell slots because you cast.
Oh yeah,
Dimension
we
Door
use a lot of
twice.
your spells.
Yeah,
We use a lot
You
of your
cast both
spell
of your
slots.
fourth levels because they kept using Dimension Door to try and get to places. So you have no fourth levels
Mhm.
remaining. I don't know what that spell's level is.
Pretty sure it's either second or third. I don't think it's fourth.
Detect poison and disease. D&D 5e. It is first level. You can cast it if you want to detect if it's diseased.
Nimi, you want to do that? Oh, she's muted.
Yeah. I mean, are you going to collect it either way? Because William already, if he's going to get diseased, he likely has already caught it. He wore it for, so far, a solid hour.
We have cure poisons and disease too. That's a thing.
I think that's lesser restoration.
Yeah.
Hello.
What?
What? Oh, hello.
Oh. They're wanting to know if
Willow.
you're going to cast Detect Poison and Disease.
It's the first level.
It'll tell you
Gimme.
whether Rias was being truthful about the armor and stuff.
I think technical difficulties.
Bruh.
Well, that's the restoration. Nimi.
Yeah,
Are you gonna detect poison and disease?
I don't have it.
Okay, so she didn't pick that as one of
She-
her spells.
As for tonight. Oh yeah, because she couldn't have changed it.
Yeah, she didn't have the
never
time to
mind.
change it. So it's up to you guys. Are
Yeah.
you going to take it and hope that he was lying or not?
No, I'm not taking it.
Okay. About you, BL?
BL?
I'm not taking it.
You are or no?
Not.
Not? Okay. So only William is brave enough to keep the weapons and armor that he has collected.
Or dumb enough, because he doesn't really trust.
Yeah. It's dumb if you fail, brave if you don't.
Yep.
Where are you going? Because the only ways you can see is one that heads even deeper into likely the dungeon area, and one that leads into like a ballroom style place.
Let's go to it was in there.
You say ballroom? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Alright.
I just don't want to be in a place that can easily collapse. So
You
just
circle
hurry.
the edge of the room, making sure not to step on the center of the sinking stones, and find your way through the small little hallway and into what would be a ballroom. The chandelier is shattered in the center of the room, and there is several pillars that also are crumbly and leaning. The ceiling and walls here are damaged, as they all are, but less from acid and more from collapsing stairs above. As you can see, the holes that are in the roof and walls are usually caused as several stones have collapsed on top of each other. And if you look through any of the gaps, you can see like piles of broken stone. So more than likely, this is relatively protected. The contents of the room is the shattered chandelier laying in the middle of the floor, made of likely gold. It looks like gold, that or silver, painted a slightly shinier gold. Other than that, you see several tables, circular this time, with little chairs set around it. These also seem mostly untouched by acid, along with the rest of the room. Yeah. You see what looks to be like a bar style table, with obvious piles of drinks, most of them shattered by likely the shaking of the ground or the collapsing of the stones around it. But there's a few bottles you could still drink from if you were brave enough and trusted that they wouldn't be poisoned or diseased. Other than that, you start to view behind and under these tables and stuff, and taking in the room even more in depth, you see what looks to be tattered skeletal figures stationed about. One behind the bar looks to have fallen back or something and it's broken its neck, as it doesn't have any visible wounds on the bones that are left behind, except for the neck is disconnected from the head. Several places you just see bones, like someone smacked a skeleton and just threw it around the room at random. Several skeletons, even. But other than that, you do even see one or two that are pretty much fully together, just laying there, collapsed against a table. This seems to be a somewhat graveyard in this ballroom. There are no other exits, by the way. This is a side chamber that only has one entrance and one exit.
So we go here, then we leave, go to the dungeon. Got it. Okay. So how many skeletons did you say look intact? Just two?
There's about 3 that are actually intact. 1 behind the bar, except for the fact that its neck is separated, and 2 that are just at the tables and collapsed.
Okay. You said there's bottles of alcohol or something?
There are a few that are unshattered, though they could likely be diseased or ruined because of over fermentation or something.
Hey, free alcohol. We might need it for BL. It might be.
Are you going to take your free alcohol?
I'll take all the alcohol I can get.
Yeah, I'm not drinking that. You can skedaddle.
So you collect some of the unbroken bottles that are obviously the closed ones. You don't want the ones that are opened. And begin to stuff them in the backpack that you still have. Not
How many are there?
magic one, but there. In all, you get about 4 bottles of regular alcohol. It's not overly fine, not overly garbage.
And did you say the chandelier was like golden or something?
The chandelier looks to be made of a silver painted gold or a gold. And it's just collapsed in the middle of the room. You could likely break chunks off of it and sell it.
I'll take as much as I can while they're doing something.
You summon your sword and begin to chop at it, using the magic blade.
Make part. Yeah. Whatever is easier to chop that. So.
About the rest of you. Anything particular you want to do in this room?
Take a chair.
Not again.
Take the chairs.
Yeah,
You have no magic thing to put it in this time.
We can hold them.
You're gonna walk with a chair on your back for hundreds of miles, possibly.
Yes.
No.
So you're
Anything
taking a
else?
chair, Natalie?
No.
I'm not I'm not taking a chair.
You want to help me,
Alright.
BL, with the cutting of the chandelier?
We're not taking a chandelier.
No,
I'm
only
cutting it into
chunks of it.
pieces.
Yeah.
Just chunks. I'm trying to make us get money again. We're broke. We're homeless and poor.
So what is money gonna do in a place like this?
Whenever we get out of here.
If we get out of here,
Don't say that, you little ramscallion.
old Coxwaddle cut my hand off.
He probably had all our food. If there's no food left, I'm killing him. He can't take in hand and our food. Like the hand, that's already too much. We can't eat. We're eating him.
No, he looks like a shriveled up nutsack.
Yeah, if anything's diseased in here, he's probably the most diseased.
He probably made the disease.
Yeah, he probably was born here.
By the way, the person
He
they're
looks
talking
undead.
about, Willow, is Godwin, which is Eden's character, who joined last session.
And cut my hand off.
Yes.
Yep. Because he had to choose. And he chose the person that insulted him. So we take a chair and how many pieces of chandelier?
Depending on how long you want to stand here and chop it up. Uh,
How many pieces can I get and not be over encumbered by the backpack full of it and still get a good amount?
well, to max out your carry, like with a comfortable weight that won't impede your travels, you could probably spend a solid 20 minutes hacking at it. Get maybe 10 pounds, 20 pounds of solid gold, or what looks to be gold from your knowledge of metals, and just stuff it in chunks
20
into your backpack, and you could probably walk around with 20
20
pounds of
gold.
gold. That's a lot of gold.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that.
All right. You spend about 20 minutes, all of you guys hacking at this chandelier, tearing pieces off, and William is now carrying 20 pounds of this gold-like metal.
Or silver. It could be silver, and that's still good. That's still good money for us. I really want to. I really want to shoot a skeleton.
Do you?
Can I? Can I? They're probably gonna waken up. We're gonna have a battle here, and I don't know if we want that.
No, definitely not.
Hey, but they're already dead.
No.
What if I just throw a chair at them?
How would that be any different?
I want to throw a chair at them from like as far as I can, then grab another one and run away.
You pick up a chair, yeet it at the table where one of them has collapsed. It like crashes against the skeleton and knocks it to the ground, and you hear like almost Minecraft skeleton or like the Lego noise where it like disassembles itself and cracks a few times. You grab
Yeah.
another chair and sprint outside the room, and as soon as you guys all turn your backs, a tankard flies and smashes against the wall, seemingly filled with liquid. This wooden tankard shatters, and liquid goes everywhere. You turn back around, ready for combat. The skeleton lays disassembled, and the one at the table does as well.
Good job, William. Good job.
I win. Let's go. Dungeon.
So you head back out after the startling noise crashing behind you and the worry of combat, and begin to head, once again, making sure to circle around the center, towards the dungeon. You go down one level of staircase. You see a collapsed doorway. Head down the next level. You probably suspect you're at least a solid 10 foot underground at this point, when you see the next door, seemingly made of solid metal, untouched by acid. No way to view past it, except for a small crack that you can maybe gaze through and get a small line of sight. But this underground dungeon area seems the most safe of all the chunks, unless you count the fact that the weight is likely bearing upon it from the rest of the castle. You don't know what's beyond this door, but you know it's likely a prisoner chamber, as most places keep prisoners at the deepest, darkest dungeons they can.
Amy, do you want to beat down the door? Because I don't think BL can anymore.
Sure.
Or do you want me to make a big maul and destroy it? Either way. Do you want to hit the
Ow.
door? Or do you want me to? You'll
Oh.
do it. Okay.
Fair warning. You don't have a weapon.
You don't have a weapon.
You can punch the metal.
No, she'll take damage.
Yeah.
I'll attack it. I'll attack it. I'll change my sword to a maul and bash it in.
Okay.
Okay.
You spend a little bit doing that, and it takes a solid 4 or 5 hits, but you manage to break it in enough for you to crawl through. On the inside of this little
Summon the
dark
sword
chamber, you see what looks to be very similar to a place you saw before. Rias's little chamber underground back in the menagerie, months and months and months ago, is like a memory that almost washes over you, as this looks eerily similar. This is likely the torture chamber that they would walk prisoners through, and likely torture them before they stuck them in prison cells, if this is the prison cell area.
BDSD ×2 for William.
Yes. It is a jarring sight, but all the implements are seemingly rusted in most ways, and don't seem like you could torture someone without them getting tetanus and dying from it. And there doesn't seem to be anyone in here at the moment. But there is a door across the way leading into a further, entirely dark chamber, which is far enough away where only really Nim can see, and she sees hanging like cages. Most of
Unless
them
she gives us 300 feet too.
Yeah, but these hanging cages seem to also hold some skeletons, or parts of them. As you begin to move through, move into the next chamber over, and see that this is far longer than even Nim suspected. This is probably a solid 250-foot long chamber, while only being 20 foot wide or so. It's a large chamber.
She can see the entire room.
Yeah. But it's a large chamber.
300 feet.
With holding a bunch of skeletons. But you also notice what looks to be one peculiar sight. This form, you see, is the only one not entirely skeleton. It honestly looks relatively normal. With this low light vision, the best you can determine is it looks extremely, extremely pale. But it is curled up in the cages, exactly like the rest of the skeletons in here. And not all the cages are filled, but solid 25-50% are. And this is the only one that isn't a skeleton, though it is curled up and just huddled in the cage. And still seems to be wearing clothing. Relatively fine ones, too.
Can we tell if he's breathing? Or
Doesn't look to be breathing. They're just curled up facing away in the wall, or towards the wall.
what do you guys say we do?
Pick him up.
Pick him up? I couldn't hear you. Cut out.
Wake him up.
Hey!
As soon as you shout, the head snaps over. You see dark holes where the eyes are. No eyes to be seen, but it just looks at you. Cocks its head slightly to the side.
You're fairly similar. I know a person that has no eyes too. Can you hear me?
Just looks at you.
Talk. Can you speak?
Strange grunting noise comes out, like a weird gurgle.
Huh. Does he look fairly similar to Godwin in the face of undead?
No,
Dead.
not really.
No.
He has a relatively normal face. He looks like a regular guy you would see in the Empire, perhaps. Except for the fact that his eyes are, like, there is no eyes. There's just sockets. He has skin, though it is impossible to tell the real color of it. It looks like an extremely, extremely pale red. So, likely an extremely pale whatever color he actually is.
I activate the light on my sword.
He looks to be human or elvish. You can't really tell as his hair, while being tattered, still covers his ears for the most part. And him being hunched over like this doesn't really show you his true height or like lithe form or anything. He's just like staring at you.
I turn on the light on my sword to see what color he is.
Turn on the light of your sword. You see a pale red, Damien.
Okay.
Everything here's red. Remember that.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Remember, everything,
I forgot
including
that
the
we're in a
light, is
red
red.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot. Forgot that happens.
But he doesn't
Yeah, that
seem to
was
be
my
making
point.
a move to stand up, nor does he seem to be making a move to speak. He's just kind of glancing at you, and every once in a while he gurgles.
Uh, use your head for yes or no answers. Can I? Are you peaceful?
He cocks his head to the side, not seeming to respond in any particular way.
Okay. What do you guys think? Kill, let go, walk away from. Yeah.
E.
Did you just say E?
I think they both went E and. Okay.
It's up to you, I
Now I know
guess.
now I know how skins feels. I walk up to the cage.
His head like bends, and you hear it like crack once as he turns his head, but doesn't seem to be moving his body like at all. His head turns a little bit too far, and it seems like it pops, but not to the point where you're worried he snapped it or anything.
Boy, you freaky. Is the cage? Can I tell if it's unlocked or do I have to unlock it?
You pull on the cage lightly. Seems locked. And it seems
Good,
relatively
good.
solid as the acid's untouched it.
And can I look for a key?
Look around for a key in the room, walking up and down, glancing at the tables. They likely aren't going to store keys where the prisoners are.
There, there.
But it looks like you could probably cut open or bash down this cage door relatively simply. It's untouched from the acid, but it doesn't look to be that thick. It looks to be just thick enough where a physically average person, even a slightly above average person, probably can't break the metal. But if you were like BL strong, you could probably break it just by tearing it open.
Hey, BL? Can you open the door?
But BL
Break
now
it.
has one arm. Remember that.
He can still swing.
Okay.
And he still has a hand. He can still beat it down. BL?
That's a smart question, Nim.
What did Nim ask?
She just went vampire?
Oh, it's definitely some kind of form of undead, like vampires. It's either vampire or zombie, but it doesn't seem like a zombie, is what Trent said.
Are you going to bust down the door, BL? What is it with no one responding to question? What is going on?
I think, cause, okay, I know how Sean felt.
Yeah, that's true.
I
How about
really
you do something? Because you have blades
You know
as
what?
well.
You know what? I don't want to die because no one will do anything. I yelled it out as I make it a mall again, bash down the door.
He flinches as you swing the first time, but realizing you're not doing something that will harm him directly, you bash
I'm letting
in
you
the
go,
door,
buddy.
and he begins to like move his arms, and you notice now it was hard to tell when he was curled up as he was, but his arms and legs
Sword
are like
again.
extremely skin and bone. They have muscle there, but like pure sinew. He's like emaciated thin. And as you bash down the door a few times, about the third swing it caves in. And as soon as it does,
Make it a
he
sword
reaches
again.
over to it and pushes it out as best he can. And with surprising
I run
strength
back.
for a man of his emaciation, it falls backwards.
I get.
And he like gasps almost as he like feels around. He doesn't seem to be able to see. He just gurgles, holds his hands out.
I'm gonna slowly back away quietly so he doesn't hear where I'm going.
He's just standing there. He like steps out of the cage and like readjusts his clothing while keeping one hand just out in front of him, as if he's trying to feel or ward off something.
I'm gonna get like 10 feet away from him, closer to where my friends are, and I'm gonna ask, "Are you thirsty?"
He just like
Yes.
he just
Shake
like
head,
touches his
nod head.
ears and then shakes his head, and then cocks his head to the side.
I'm gonna.
Can you
I
speak?
don't like. I've already
He
tried that. They just make girl sounds.
He in response to your continuing what sounds like questions to him, though he doesn't seem to be responding in any usual way. He just keeps gurgling. It's like a
We
weird,
can't.
like it's like his vocal cords have been cut. And now that you see him standing up and his thin neck, you see what looks to be a deep, permanent scar, as if someone did cut his vocal cords.
So we can't write to him. He can't talk to us. He can probably barely hear us.
He seems a little bit unsteady on his feet. He's like barely keeping. He like keeps like almost stumbling, losing his balance.
I really want to give him one of the alcohols to see if it's poisoned.
He like opens his mouth and touches inside of it, like touching his tongue.
Thirsty. Oh, okay. And no one else has any drinks, right? So, wait, Nemi, I saw you do this before. Do you still have that spell you can purify drinks?
I don't think I do.
I will check for you.
That's so funny. I think it's so funny that every time you need a spell, Nim has just switched it out.
Just swapped it, yeah.
It seems like she's purposely evading the useful spells that are combat oriented.
She doesn't have purify drink, but she can create or destroy water.
So you could just create water.
Do you want to create some water?
Sure.
Okay, I'm guessing you're gonna create it inside the mouth. Just put it down.
So
Make him drown.
what? Okay. Do you have a container you're gonna create this in?
We don't have a container. We lost all of our stuff. We don't have a container. I'm gonna empty one of the alcohols out.
Okay, so you dump one of the alcohols out and make sure to cleanse it of the poison or possible disease. You like dump what? You just want to dump one out or more than one?
Just one.
Okay.
One will clear out the dust and
You dump the
be
liquid
okay.
out, and you realize this one likely wasn't well, as when you pour it out, it is like a weird thick substance. But then Nim creates water, and you like keep dumping it while the water is being created, because she's creating 40 gallons of water, I think.
Yeah.
So you keep dumping
It's a
it
lot
to
of
make
water.
sure it gets clean. It's almost like a pressure washer on the inside. And eventually, whenever you're getting to the end of the spell, he turns it back up, and now you have a full container of water. Will likely
I will-
give someone a drink for a full day.
I will hand him the water.
He keeps reaching his hand out, and eventually you give him a glass, and he brings it to his lips and drinks it. And he like chugs it. He chugs like a fourth of the entire bottle immediately before he brings it back down. It's a pretty large bottle of alcohol, or what used to be alcohol. And he like just holds it in his other hand, and then touches his stomach, and then back to his mouth.
Anyone have food?
There's food in the tent.
No. We have to go back. One could go back and get it. Yo, BL.
I'm going.
Yeah. Okay.
So BL quickly jogs up the stairs, sprints through the acid rain, sprints back through the acid rain, Godwin fearing for his life as you charge into the tent and back out. Grabbing one of your rations, which does put you down a day a little bit, but not too much. And you hand him the little wrapped up chunk of meat that was the ration, which he opens up and begins to chew on with no teeth. So it's taking a little bit for him to eat it.
Ew.
So he just gumming it?
Yeah,
He's
has to.
gumming it
He
until he
doesn't
can
have
eat
any
it.
teeth,
Ew.
but he's
This
just
guy-
chewing on it for a while. He's just standing.
Can't be
in
a
front of you now.
vampire. He doesn't have any. He doesn't have claws or teeth. Can you talk now?
He just keeps gurgling. He gurgles in response to the questioning tone of your voice.
Oh yeah, your vocal cords. I forgot. Sorry.
For a
Oh.
moment, he like thinks back while he's chewing, and you can see like a process go through his head for a second, and then it reaches into the air and begins to draw in the air what looks to be lines of sparkles, like small fireworks in a line, and he begins to spell out: can't speak, can't see, can hear, can't understand. And the only one who understands what he's writing is William.
Is me. What language is it?
It is, what you can understand, a language that no longer has a name. You've never heard of the name, at least. Something extremely ancient from before the calamity that was likely wiped out
Primordial.
with this small country.
Is it primordial?
No, there's no name. You don't have a name for it. It is just something you don't like, there is no particular name that anyone would ever get. This was entirely wiped. Like, primordial, people can still speak it because it's historically documented. No one speaks this language anymore.
But I've read about it, so I know the language.
Not that you've read about
Or
it.
something.
You have an evocation.
No. Yeah, I just know, I understand.
Yeah, you understand its
how to
writing.
read it.
You don't understand exactly, what it is that he's writing, because that doesn't really have any particular name.
No name. Okay. So he could write to us, and then we can talk to him like that. How long have you been here?
He writes in the air again. Can't understand.
Oh yeah. And he probably doesn't know any of our languages.
He's just continuously chewing on the meat.
Just
Yeah, just
Guys, I have I go up to the party and whisper, guys, I have a feeling I kind of want to put him out of his misery. He can't speak, he can't see, he can barely hear us, he doesn't even know what we're saying.
okay.
He can't even eat, he doesn't have teeth. I
While
feel
you-
so bad.
While you're saying this, like, Biel just walks up to him and stands directly in front of him, and just stands there and looks at him for a second.
Don't kill him yet.
he's
we
just
should talk
writing
about
your
this.
questions in the air, unaware of your presence.
What's he asking?
Something more along the lines of, how long has it been? What year is it? Who are you? Stuff like that. And he's writing these and hoping you guys can figure out how to respond to him. As he can't understand what you're saying.
He's asking how long it's been. What year is it? I know the year. I can't tell him. Because his language is different.
Wait, could I use my telepathy to tell him? Because it's just communication of the mind.
As long as they understand
Of any
one
language?
language, they can understand you. So yes.
Thank you, BL.
But I look kind of like I'm like, what year is it? What year is it?
I believe 856.
I'm like, it's 8:56.
He shakes his head and draws in the air, and then stops and just responds telepathically, as he's allowed to do that with your two-way communication. And he says, that can't be. The year was 1,900. Have we gone back in time? No, it can't be. And it's almost like he goes into a tangent of thought by himself.
What is he saying, BL?
He says he's from the year 1000 something something.
He said
Do
a
we know about
time
the
that was in
calamity?
the future.
Do we know the calamity?
He said a time that was in the future.
Yes, he said he was from the year 1,900,
1,000.
which is past where
Yeah,
you
and
are
it's
now.
800. That's
Oh.
that's 1,000, 100.
That's
okay.
100-something years, or about 50 years ahead of you right now.
Yeah.
He said the time's 1090.
Do we know about the calamity, Trent?
You know the calamity happened. Everyone knows the calamity happened. You don't know details necessarily about like any particular god that fought this god. Like that would be something you have to look up or have prior knowledge of and have to make a roll. But everybody knows the calamity
But
happened.
and our characters can okay. Uh, that's not possible. As yeah, what do you like? I don't know what to say. Like, just,
Ask him. I'm like, how are you from the like? Why are you saying that? You would have to be from the future.
Shakes his head. No, that was the year I was imprisoned. 1912. It's been years, so many have lost count. So it cannot be the year 1856. That is what's impossible.
I'm like, well, homie, time might work differently here. I don't know, but I know what year it is.
Time works as everywhere else in our small country. Eh, some people don't understand our ways, but no, it is the same as everyone else's. We are just average
Uh,
people here.
yeah, dude, everything here is red. It rains acid, and you're just gargling on the floor.
I was captured during a raid on the castle many, many years ago. Um, I can't speak, yes, that is correct, but what do you mean by everything is red and it rains acid? That is, not one of the features of our country.
As in, when you go outside, this place has become a
red.
wasteland. It's like everything outside is just red. There's a tint of red to everything, and the
It's
acid,
also red in here.
it rains acid. Yeah, it's red everywhere. You can't
It's
see
red
it,
here too.
but yeah.
He, like, shakes his head a few times, obviously confused by what you're saying. But he doesn't seem to be able to piece anything together.
But yo, ask him about the calamity.
What do you know of the calamity?
Is that what they call the fall of our country? What's
The fall of the world.
what is this calamity? I have not heard of any particular downfalls. They don't tell prisoners that. Like I said, it's been
What
many,
was
many
you
years since I've been down here. I'm not
What
in
was
current
you in
defense.
prison for?
I was imprisoned for offending the prince. I tried to talk to one of the noble ladies, and he took offense because he wanted that noble lady. They stuck me here, and I heard a raid of an attack, and they told me, "You are now my prisoners," whoever it was. They took my eyes, the people who put me here the second time after the raid, took my eyes, and cut my throat. But I don't know of any calamity. I don't understand how you're technically from the past.
What is he
Oh,
saying?
he told me that he don't know about the calamity and that he doesn't understand how we're from the past.
Uh, tell him about the calamity. Tell him what happened.
Uh, Tell him about the calamity.
You give a brief exclamation. So, the floating cities fell?
Yep, correctamundo, friend.
Doesn't make sense to me. The gods are, they, we had weapons that could hurt or kill, even, them. I don't understand how they could have done that. Either way, is this country still called Orkney? What is this
It's
land known
called
as?
it's called Blightshore. For from what I can tell, people get sent to be tortured or just die.
That's, I, I don't understand. So are you saying that I've been down here for over 1,000 years.
I guess you have.
No, I would have been long dead. I haven't eaten in
This
most of
place
that time.
has this place has a weird thing with permanency. Some things just stay the way they are. You stayed alive. How it works here.
I don't fully understand. Even your accent is new to me. It's not the way old Zimnies were. I
Simeon.
just take me with you for now. I'll piece together what's going on and how to get my eyes back on the road.
I throw him over my shoulder.
You do so, and he
He can
doesn't. He
walk.
doesn't object. He is
Oh,
while he can walk, it's not a perfect walking. He was unsteady just standing there, and more unsteady once you told him that he's been down here for more than 1,000 years, close to 2,000 even.
hey guys.
And I start
Is
sprinting back.
this? Whoa. Well, this is a good thing that we are saving this guy, and we're gonna help him. Now remember, we have to feed him. So
No, like when I stood in front of him, you know what I was gonna do initially?
kill him.
I was gonna stomp his head in.
Yeah, I was okay with that.
Yeah,
But
just murder him. It's so funny.
I was gonna be okay with that.
He was on the hair of disaster, and he managed to convince you otherwise.
Wait, so is there nothing else here? Is that all? Is there just one guy and then
There's
everything
more
else is just
skeletons and rusted tools, but no other
what kind of
people.
tools? What kind of tool?
Torture tools.
Well, never mind.
Yeah, torture equipment. That's what's here.
There's nothing on the skeletons besides just clothes.
Tattered clothing. This guy seems to be the only one wearing even tattered fine clothing. Like, this is extremely, extremely old clothing that probably should have, in most cases, rotted away long, long ago, but for some reason hasn't and retained some of its qualities so that you know it's at least somewhat fine.
So there's nothing else in this castle entirely.
You look around for other entranceways. They seem mostly collapsed or not really. The only places you really haven't explored would require you to go back up the hole in the ceiling that you guys teleported down the first time when the wall collapsed that Godwin caused.
Do you guys want to check the upstairs collapsed rooms, or do you want to go back to the tent and somehow get out of this kind of place?
That's up to you, homie.
You'd have to somehow get back up
Alright.
there.
Yeah, we don't have our spells.
You're entirely out of
Fourth
teleports.
levels. I'm out of spells entirely because I use both of mine.
Yeah.
Nimi, what do you think? Do you want to try to get up there?
I mean, they
Oh
can
my
fly.
god.
It would be really hard for them to do it, but it is dim here. And using your
Yeah.
subclass, you can hover and try and latch on to the roof, though you would be putting your hands in partially acidic acid rain as the entire thing is covered in a torrent of rain pouring into the floor. That are down to your floor. So you would have to hook your hands in acid water to pull yourself over, more or less bathing yourself in acid to try and get up to the floor above you.
I say we wait in the morning to choose what we do.
Just go back to the tent.
Yeah. Okay.
All
See
right.
what happened to Godwin.
You head back to the tent, and Godwin looks surprised to see yet another figure approach with you. Are you guys going to do anything in particular during your time back in this tent? As the man just kind of sits
Does-
down and keeps chewing on the meat that is really, really hard for him to eat, as it's really tough and salted.
I'm gonna
Guys,
walk over. I'm gonna put the dude down. I'm gonna walk over to Godwin. I'm just gonna look at him menacingly for like half a second, and then sit down.
Guys, I have a theory. This guy's been here for 1,000 years and has not died of food and thirst. So why should we feed him? He hasn't died yet. Okay.
No
I
one's
guess we're not
objecting,
feeding
I
this guy.
guess.
I guess we're not feeding this guy. That is your last food. Guess we sleep.
Godwin puts on a perplexed expression when you ask, like, why not to feed it. Just goes, where did you find a hollowed one? He's a hollow. They need food not very often. And apparently...
He's been here for over 1,000 years. So do you need food over every? Like how long do you need?
Well,
Wait to eat?
his body likely went in some sort of hibernation state. That's my only explanation. I know very little about hollows. I usually create my own undeads.
Yeah, I heard about that whenever he was kidnapped.
He likely
Enslaved.
has some magic on him or had some effect placed on him to sustain him. He will now, likely since you moved him out of that cage, perish if no food is
Be
given.
hungry.
Though you only need to feed him about once every 3 days, he is actively dying of starvation. I would start him off a little bit quicker. My advice, nothing more.
Well, he doesn't have any teeth, so he's not even halfway done with that little piece of meat.
Well, that's a full ration chunk of meat, so...
Yeah, he's not even halfway done with it though. At all. For being a starved person.
Also, I will give you guys a heads up to remember, food isn't an issue. You have a cleric who can create it.
Yeah. After a long rest and she takes that spell.
You're about to rest, are you not?
Yep, we're gonna take a long rest with watches to find that dragon. I know it's a dragon.
Anyone else want to do anything particular, or are we going to begin your rest and watches?
Man, we haven't done a watch in so long.
So rest.
Oh my god. Yep, long rest.
Who is taking first watch?
Probably the person. Wait. Who needs the
You need
most sleep?
4 watches. You can have up to 4 watches.
Well,
Let me will first. Okay.
All right. You set up and begin your watch. Make a perception check for me. I believe that's a +8. You said.
Perception for her.
Yeah,
Perception for her is a +8. Yes.
that was correct. You're using the tent as cover, looking out to see what's going on. What'd you say?
Roll a d20. Roll a d20.
Oh, I thought she said something.
I think she's gonna-
17.
17.
Plus the 8, or did you not add the 8?
I did it.
So
So that's a
over
25.
you keep
25.
a watch out,
Yep.
and over the course of your time looking out over the nighttime, you see the man spends a solid 4 hours. Nah, you're not watching for a full 4 hours, but you know it's going to take about that long. Because when you sit there and watch for about 2 hours, which is your shift, and you're glancing about, and you see it takes him, he only gets through about half of that meat by the time your shift is over. And the only thing you notice is you do see the dot slightly closer fly past, and your super keen vision, because most people would get bored and just miss it. But you see a small dot, almost like a pixel on a screen, fly by. Slightly closer than it was before, but it doesn't seem to be particularly chasing you. And a few minutes later, you see another dot. Maybe the same one doing a circle, maybe not. This one even closer, but still not a worrying amount. Your watch ends, and nothing else happens. Who was taking second watch?
I'll take it.
William. You sit up for a second watch, and over the course of your time, you see the man finish his chunk of meat and curl up and go to sleep. Likely getting
11.
more comfortable than he's had in a long time. With 11, you gaze out, And don't see any circling dots like Willow or Nim. Don't see any particular oddities other than the rain strangely begins to lessen, which is a blessing, as you suspect it'll end by the end of the night.
Let's go.
During your watch,
Woo!
though, one thing does stand out to you, and this you know you could not have missed if you tried. You look out and see right at the base of the castle, just about maybe 5 foot from the doors of the large castle, you see pitch darkness, black, and your eyes are immediately drawn to it. It's the only thing, not a primary color. It's actual black. Darkness, void. And you see, in this void, an inky blackness lifting up. Looks to be a wall of sorts. Then chains coming out of the wall. Hands being held upwards. And the form of your father hanging on a wall. You know... Make an intelligence check for me.
Should I? Okay.
As right now, you are looking out in this small 10-foot radius circle, about 5 foot from the door. You see a void black wall lift up with chains that look to be a light gray, and your father's
Just
form
an intelligence check.
in pure
Nothing.
color.
Nothing.
Just a regular intelligence
Nothing
check.
to add. 2.
2. You don't know where you've seen this. You don't know if this is real or fake. Likely not real, because your dad doesn't seem to be writhing in pain from the acid rain, as well as he doesn't seem to be really here. He is not the same color as everything else, and it kind of shows it's an illusion. But you're not sure. You have an inkling something more to this illusion. It's drawing on something within you more than it is just something random. Your father stands there and looks at you, hanging from the wall. The form does. The eyes are kind of lifeless, as he is in full regular color, or not regular color. He's in shades of gray, as is always the way with your particular person. And it just eyes gaze at you for a little bit, until it knows you're paying attention. And then your father does another strange thing. He cranes his neck to the point where you believe it should have snapped, and stares right at the moon, where both Ruidus and Katha are both visible. Ruidus shining a slight bright color. After craning his head to look up at the moon, the form turns inky and almost begins to melt away, but you notice it's not actually melting, it's just transferring to your patron hanging against this wall. The dark shadow form and dark shadow eyes coming back to meet yours, still chained by what you understand to be silver chains, though your patron cannot particularly show that. And then you see him shift his gaze slightly. He's not looking directly at you. He's looking just behind you.
He's looking at me.
No, he's looking just behind you in the tent. Not particularly at Nimi. Just... It's really hard to tell. Just behind you.
I summon my blade as I look where he was looking at.
You try and summon your blade, it doesn't come. You turn around to look at what he is gazing at, and see your blade laying on the desk, about 5 foot away from them.
I will try to pick it up.
You pick it up and it vanishes into smoke. You turn around, confused, and see the image gone. Your watch has come to an end, William. Who's taking the next one?
And I can't try summoning it again before I fall asleep.
It won't summon. Seemingly tonight, your blade is either not following your call or is being told not to.
I look at the moon, then look at Nimi, readying an Eldritch Blast, about to shoot it.
As you look at the moon,
But knowing that
you see the light blink out, as if the shining form of Ruidus just was swept over with the darkness, and turns back to its normal coloration.
almost shooting an Eldritch Blast, just Just I will like sleep in the stance of the moment something happens, I wake up and will like go into action.
All
I
right.
am being like careful,
You
and
sleep
I
at the
will
ready.
sleep.
And I'm assuming, BL, you're taking last watch?
Yeah.
Make a perception check.
Bruh, bro.
I lost my fucking sword.
Make an intelligence for me, William. Just make one while BL's turn is happening here.
Did I lose my fucking? Did you forward me?
No, I wouldn't do that.
11. You forward me.
11. You understand, just with the slight correlation, that the Rudis that you saw shining likely was why you couldn't summon your sword for a quick moment there. You probably could now.
Can I try before falling asleep?
Yeah, you can summon it again, but just for a second there.
Okay. I go to sleep. Yes, it's Biel's turn.
13.
You said 13
13.
for perception.
As you gaze out, you don't really see anything in particular until the very, very end, where the day begins to actually shine once again. You see, not too long before your shift is over, the black dot does another circle. This time you know it's not a black dot, and actually see the forms of wings speeding. But it also looks like you can almost see through the form. And you also catch the second form right behind it. Once again, yet another form beating in the distance. Both of them red, as always, but there's obviously two flying forms that are fairly large, maybe less than a mile from your position. But now the watch is ended, and the rain has let up.
And now it's Godwin's turn.
No, Godwin doesn't get a watch. It's just 3 watches that are necessary.
Okay.
But the rain is let up, and the night is ended.
We wake up.
Yep. What are you all doing?
Is the rain still there?
The rain has ended. The acid has relented, though the clouds already are beginning anew. So, you might want to move before they start again.
Yep.
What are you guys doing?
Okay, is there any direct path I can see, like a paved road or something? Is there nothing here? Is it just forest?
This looks to be the only roads that used to be here. Like, you can see what used to be a road, and the only reason you can judge it is because of like 1 or 2 stones that are placed together and interlocking. But the road seems to be washed away by the acid rain, likely long, long ago. There isn't really any particular know-how as to where to go. The only way you can really judge is you know where the sea is, as you can kind of sense the direction of it. It's not quite a full view, because everything is red, so it's really hard to tell depth, but you know the sea is not too far away to your south. Well, what would be your south, but not actual south.
Okay.
You have to basically head actually east to get to the ocean, and it's not too far away. And you know that while a dangerous area Blightshore is, there's likely some people who live here. There's people who live everywhere.
And we don't see any like houses or tents or towns anywhere.
Everything else looks extremely barren. Only other things you can see a like really gray looking tree after you exit the red area, which doesn't take very long. Most of this is extremely scattered. Not a whole lot here, not a whole lot to see, not a whole lot to do. You see corpses every once in a while. A lot of them look fairly similar to your man that is following blindly behind you. Kind of just putting a hand on Godwin's shoulder as you guys walk, I mean. And as you make your way, you realize just how extremely barren this place is, and understand that you're likely pretty exposed. And last time you saw those large flying forms that were both red at the moment, they were less than a mile away. If anything's out here, it likely can see you as well as you can see it.
So wait, do we see the dots of dragons coming closer?
At this moment, they seem to be locked behind the castle from your view. If you're heading east, they're like behind the castle somewhere. So you can't see them as you begin to walk away and pack up your things.
Okay.
But you know, once you get out of this little red area, and it doesn't take long, you walk less than 5 minutes and see the red goes back to its normal hue. And you can even see like the normal coloration of the castle just by stepping outside of the little circle. That seems to be the red area. But you know, now that you're like 5 minutes away from the castle, there's like no other structures in a long radius. You don't see any, and you can see probably 30 miles in any direction.
Well, yes, say we go. There's nothing here. I'm not going back into the red zone where those dragons. So, left, right, or straight?
I mean, knowing where the ocean is, you know if you head west, you can technically get back to the Empire. Technically. If you head east, you head to the ocean. If you head south, you're heading closer to the menagerie, but not really. That'll take a long time. And if you head north, you can head to like the Graying Wildlands and also the Kreen, probably. The Kreen's also, I think, on the way back as well from to the Empire. I mean,
Alright, guys, you guys want to go to ocean? What did you say? The Empire, Kreen Dynasty, or Menagerie?
you're likely going to end up in the Kreen in most of the directions you choose. Just saying, if I remember the map correctly.
You want to go look at that real quick so
I
you can
am.
tell us? Okay. Where do you guys say we go? North, straight, right? North, south, west, or east?
The north.
North. Okay, that's one vote for north. BL. BL.
Bale's not here right now.
Is he actually AFK or is he
I don't
just
know.
not talking? Godwin.
He just shrugs. He doesn't seem to really
God.
mind.
Ah!
I'm not
In
making a
these
decision
games.
for you guys.
I'm back, guys.
Oh, thank God. Yeah, where'd you go? Which direction do you want to go? North, south, east, or west?
Empire.
Which direction is that again, Trent?
Let me see what I'm looking at here. Yeah, from your direction, or like from you right now, you can head to the west to head into the Kreen. And that's pretty much your only real option. You have to pass through the Kreen to get through to most places. Your only other place would be trying to avoid it by going to the north, but you would be technically in the Kreen Dynasty pretty much anywhere you go. The main thing is you could like skirt around the edges. If you head south, you could skirt around the edges of the Kreen Dynasty and try and get to the Menagerie. If you go to the north, you can skirt around the edges and get to Isocross and such. But if you head west, you're going to end up in the Kreen. If you head east, you're going to end up at the ocean.
So, Isocross, Kreen, or Ocean? What do you guys choose?
I'm following you, home dog.
Dear fucking...
Make a decision.
Kill myself!
Make a decision.
I've made 4 already!
Too bad. Make another one. Keep making them. That's what Sean had to do.
That's fair. I don't want to go to the ocean.
I had to do it, and then you guys like, Case, leave me dumb, Case.
That's because you
I'm
got
not
you guys
doing it.
enslaved, bro.
It did. So, I don't want to go ocean, so we're not going...
None of you stopped me, so that's equally as much as your fault.
Yeah.
So where
It
y'all
was all
heading?
our fault for trusting Rias. Sure, since Nemi said north, and that's not going towards the ocean, right?
North is
Is
not,
that?
but you're heading more or less just upwards into Blightshore more. I don't know what's there per se. I'm looking,
Oh,
but okay, I found it. I found a map that's better. If you head north, you're going to end up on a pretty much uninhabited peninsula. That's not bad. It's better than Blightshore, but you don't have really any island or like towns there. There is towns there, but either way, you're gonna have to either go up to the Rhine Plains or down to Jorhas again. Well, actually, the way I would say you could do it is if you go north, you're gonna end up at this weird little peninsula. If you find a village there, you can sail all the way around into the ice across tundras and such if you wanted to.
that would actually be kind of fun, honestly. I'd be okay with a boat-esque adventure for a little bit.
Yeah,
Scoot,
there's not a whole
we're
lot
going
out
north.
there. Okay.
Scoot, we're going north, and we're gonna go to end up to the Azacross tundras soon.
You
North
all
it
head
is.
north. Walking for days, using your cleric capabilities to create food and water, to refill your canteens and such. You, surprisingly, don't see a whole lot. And surprisingly even more, those black dots are gone for the first 5 or so days of your journey. Eventually you catch sight of them again. Still, strangely enough, chasing each other. This is likely a multi-day hiding from each other event, and you guys see that these things are flying directly towards you now. And
Wait.
if they're flying directly towards you, being what they are, they likely already see you. And what they are, you now understand, is a large lich dragon. And a
A Draco Leech.
Yes, and an adult red dragon. The red dragon chasing the Draco Lich.
Oh,
The Draco Lich flying on tattered wings, and that's why it was partially see-through. You can look directly through its sternum and see the sky behind it, and see the flapping wings of the red flying above.
oh fuck.
They pass right overhead, with the Draco Lich getting burned in flames slightly as they flee. But they ignore you for the most part.
Guys, I say we get the hell out of here because I do not want to fight either one because which one becomes the winner will then devour us. And I don't want that. We keep running. Fast.
Another 6 or so days pass with uneventfulness. They don't
Thank God.
attack you. They seemingly were too focused on each other to even care about the puny people down below. But the next thing that's interesting and intriguing is you see a looks to be caravan of people. About 5 or
Okay,
so
what?
wagons, heavily guarded, as you see probably 20 people with these 5 or so wagons, looking at a field of floating stones. The stones held up by purplish, obviously magical effects that are kind of just making them hover and move slightly at random. This is likely mimicking some sort of strange plateau that used to be a higher level than the dirt now is. As it is kind of hovering a solid 10 foot of just floating stones that happen to every once in a while move and adjust with this magic. And you know that this is pretty much impassable for a caravan, and they are moving along it, like, sideways. They're moving horizontally from it, trying to find a better passageway. But they don't seem to be actively seeing and hunting you down. They are moving away from you, coincidentally, but they're not going out of their way to attack you.
Can we see how many people there are?
About 20.
Let us think. Let them go by. and then we do something, or do we ambush? It's a free caravan. They probably have food. I don't want to keep making you waste your spell. You guys want to kill? We kill? Okay.
I don't think they care.
How far are they? How far are they from us?
Willow says no, not to kill.
Oh,
Not Willow, Nim. She's just saying leave them be.
sure. Can we? Okay, how close are the stones together? Can we keep like jumping across them through the path, or is it?
There is a regular dirt here. There is just a ground that is there, yes. You can
Yeah.
walk through this. The only issue is you're going to have to be vigilant to make sure a stone doesn't move and smash you against another stone with unknown amounts of force. But you could probably traverse through it. The main reason the caravan has to move around is because they have wagons.
Because it's a caravan.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a caravan.
Hey, parkour! Let's go jumping through some stones.
All right.
Meow, meow.
So you wait for them to pass and move horizontally along, and begin careful trek. It cuts your speed in half, but likely saves you days going around. You have to travel like this for the next 2 days, using everything in your power to try and get these stones to not crush you in your sleep. In managing that, although there's a few close calls, not so much for the agile party that happens to still be around. Your blind man pretty much
Oh no.
like hugs onto Godwin. He doesn't die to any crushing stones because he is like actively like hugging onto Godwin the entire time. He's pretty much wrapping a hug around him and walking with him this entire trek, as to not be far enough away for a stone to crush him. About 2 days through, and you see your exit. You walk out and now see yet another strange oddity. Just on the outer edge of this, you see several reasonably large floating platforms. No longer are they small 5 foot or less stones. There is, in the distance, maybe 500, 600 foot away, which you can just now see because the stones are no longer blocking your vision, hovering how they were, solid platforms, maybe 200 foot across, some of them, some less than 10 foot across. Strange shapes, and likely a small hill is what's being replicated. You notice also 2 forms on this 200 or so foot across platform, and what seems to be an infinite water source on this hovering island, as a waterfall is pouring out and forming a river, strangely enough, under the other floating stones. These 2 large forms are, from your estimation, massive. They are several times any of your size and look like giant apes. Any one of you guys can make an not animal handling, I would say history check. Just to try and
Who has the
recall
best history
information.
check?
What does history go by?
Intelligence, I think. Maybe wisdom.
I have a +6. I have a +6, so it has to be wisdom.
What? Huh?
Wisdom. History goes by wisdom.
Okay.
I believe. No, I think it's intelligence
Oh my god.
+6, and I have a.
Do you not
I
have
don't
your
know,
stuff
bro.
written down, my dudes?
I have it written down. He doesn't.
Huh?
I'm gonna.
Who's making the check, my dude?
I'll make it. I'm rolling in person for this one check. See what I get. Because no one else. Oh, crap. 14.
14.
I'm gonna start rolling in person.
You really ain't know all that much about these creatures. You know they're massive and strong, and they're ape-like. You can compare them to a massive gorilla.
These are the literal definition of the creature in D&D called giant ape.
No, they don't look like apes.
Oh.
They are not a giant ape. They are just a massive gorilla.
Do you guys want to we have to keep going this way, I believe. So we have to try to get by without
You
them
you
seeing
could
us.
to avoid them. You would have to go out of your way to walk through the stone field again, because the stone field does a weird like freaking circle around these, like a semicircle, like it's trying to mimic a thing that used to be pushed together. Like this was probably all one landform that Blightshore is trying to mimic. And you understand, yeah, you could avoid it. You would have to go all the way back through the stones and take the same path that the caravan did
Nope, I'm
afterwards.
not doing that. Let's go. Let's keep going through, and if they see us, I guess we fight.
Oh, Trent, I was wanting. Do you know that character I was talking about, the subclass thingy?
Yep.
So I thought what its main thing should be, right, is to be able, like its subclass is to be able to grow these plants, and put them in a component pouch, and have certain spells or just certain things that they can do because of the components they keep on hand because they grow them. You know what I
Yep.
mean? So I was thinking about that.
I think you've said that before.
No, I said that he grows plants and then consumes them, and he gains some kind of status effect.
All right. Well, what are you all doing? You want to try and pass through these things?
Yep,
All right.
stealth.
Make some
Really?
stealth
Can
checks
we?
for me.
Okay.
Oh,
Ooh, that's
nothing.
high. We're stealthing past the giant apes, and if we don't, we fight. 22.
22. Nice.
15 plus 7 is 22 right there. Nimmy, roll stealth with a plus 8.
16.
So
16.
24. Yeah.
24. Y'all are getting high.
So 22 and 24.
Just
So
give me,
as of
give
now,
me, shut up. Give me a second. It was taking a long time.
do you have to roll for Godwin and the other guy, or no?
Yeah, I'll roll for them in person.
What are you gonna give the plus to?
What do you mean?
Like, what plus the stealth are you gonna give him?
I'm gonna give Godwin a +3, and I'm gonna give Blind Man -1. He's blind.
Fair.
Ooh, Blind Man got nat 1.
I got
Oh.
enough.
Godwin got a 17 though, so that's not that bad.
Okay, so we have three. We have three good to decent ones, and we have two bad ones.
All right. Um,
Yeah, but
what would be the
one's
average? Is the average like 17 or something? I think it was.
Uh. Well, it's 1, 9, 17, 22, 24.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the average is about 17 or 16 because the natural one like doubly affects you.
Yeah,
Uh,
that goes down.
yeah, these guys try and stealth. Your blind man struggles immensely, even with Godwin's help, and you begin to move along, and even under, trying to use it as cover, one of the large stone floating platforms. You get about 40 foot, 50 foot across this open space without this likely mating pair of creatures seeing you. Then the man that's blind hits his head on one of the floating platforms, not understanding soon enough that he should have ducked, and was likely being told to duck using hand motions. As he smacks his head, it makes a like somewhat loud retort, like a solid knock of freaking head on wood, or in this case stone, and a few pieces of stone even collapse and shatter onto the ground, not making a ridiculous amount of noise, but a low reverberation that happens, and he like gurgles out in pain. The creatures still don't seem to notice you until one stands up out of the water and looks over. Guys, stay hidden under.
I chuck a small pebble opposite to us.
Do you try and do that?
Do they see us?
Do,
Or are they about to see us, I mean?
I mean, they're obviously heard it. They're likely going to look.
Okay.
So you want to chuck your stone?
Check on the stone.
Make an athletics check to see how far you can throw this.
With disadvantage. No, it's
No,
one-handed.
No.
this
It's
is
fine.
one-handed activities. This ain't a two-handed
Yeah.
Yeah.
activity.
If anything, I should have advantage.
I don't know about that. I'll see how that would work.
It works because I'm goaded with the sauce. Home skillet.
Yeah. If it fails, he's just gonna give light skin stare.
18.
18,
Yeah.
18. You throw
I
the
hit him.
stone as far as you can, and it clacks, and the creature turns its head and gazes over there, and begins to prowl. The other one stands up, seeing its fellow creature be on alert, and they both begin to slowly close in. One of them stays on the platform with the infinite water source, and starts just gazing out and looking. The other one goes
So
over to the floating platform, reaches under and almost lifts it up, and you know it's not lifting the entire stone platform. You know it's just lifting part of it because the magic is suspending the rest, and looks under. Seeing nothing, it pushes down on it on the platform from the top, seeing the entire weight of this stone platform slam down all at once, likely crushing anything that would have been under there. Stands up again, looks around.
I run at it and punch it in the back of the head.
Are you want to try and do that?
No.
I give him a light skin scare as he looks at me.
So the creatures are now prowling, and running in the open isn't that smart. You can just hope that they don't attack you here, or try and do something to get out. It's up to you. What are y'all doing?
Wait, so he's coming? They're coming after us,
Not
or are they just
necessarily.
on alert?
They're on alert, and you see one of them is watching, and will likely see you if you leave where you are, because you're hidden under one of the stone platforms. Your troop is, but also the other one is checking the stone platforms where he heard the noises from, and he's heading your direction. But there is another platform that he's likely to stop before the one you're under. So you have a few seconds at least.
Let's skedaddle. Skedaddle.
How?
So wait, we can't run. We can't run anywhere without being seen.
If you run,
Skedaddle?
you're going to be in the open. If you stay here,
Okay.
the thing is checking the sounds, and one of
far
yours
is-
is where the sound came from.
I have a big question. How far is the nearest platform after this one?
All right, I'm
From
going to
us.
give you guys a visual aid.
So I want to.
Is
I
it-
want to know where the next platform is, Trent.
Yeah, I'm opening map tools to tell you.
Okay.
I love visual aids.
Yo, I love aids. I don't know what you're talking about.
I said visual aids.
No, I love aids in general. I don't know what you're
Wow.
talking about. What?
Wow.
You guys can
Honey,
see
go
this.
to watch the stream.
This is your little battle map. Your party. I forget where I placed you.
Hey, I remember that place.
Where did I place you guys last? Where were you? Oh, probably over here. This is
Okay,
Godwin.
I'm watching the stream.
No. Where? What? Where did skins in them go? I don't understand.
You've lost us.
Is it over here? No.
You should put us in a little box where you know where we are every time.
Yeah, I forgot where I put shit.
What was the last room that you used the map tools in?
That's what I'm wondering, because you can't be anywhere too far.
Is that us?
No. I think I don't really care all that much. I'm gonna find other ones. I have a Godwin. I have a man BL. I need a cleric character. Okay, no, I don't need that Godwin. This is what happens when you forget where you put your player characters. Tokens. I need characters. Where is the willow that I had? don't care all that much right now. I'll just use this one. Alright. So I have a BL, I have a Godwin, I have a Cleric, I have a William. Godwin, at the moment, is mostly trying to attend to our man that's blind. He isn't particularly useful on this subject. Right?
Okay.
Trying to find my way back to the map with these characters. You guys right now are under this one. Consider yourselves under this floating platform, which is the lighter color. He just crushed and smashed down this large one right here.
Oh, they're destroying them?
Not destroyed. It just smashed it on the ground, and it hovered back up afterwards, but it just was smashed on the ground for a second there.
How tall are they?
The creatures?
Yeah.
They are... Let's see. 5, 10, 15. They're about 20 foot across in their space they're taking up. In their combat occupation or whatever. And they
I'm guessing the
stand
green's the
probably a
fountain.
solid 10 foot tall, if not a little bit larger. It's hard to tell exactly because they're hunched over. If they stood on their two hind legs, they'd probably be close to 15 foot tall.
And these are gorillas?
These are large gorilla-like creatures, though they don't have a regular gorilla face. They still have the fur. They have the arms and legs styled like a gorilla, but they have more arms and legs. They have an extra 2 pairs. There's 4 pairs of hands and 2 pairs of like hind legs. Their face has 4 eyes on it with a row of extremely large mouth with a row of jagged teeth, actually 2 layers thick. Its face is mostly mouth, even. This thing looks like it would be easy for it to punch down a wall, and pretty easy for it to eat someone and swallow one of you whole with how big its mouth is.
Oh.
Not me, right? Because I'm a big stud muffin.
But I mean, yeah, but you're a regular kind of guy, and this creature has just smashed this one down, while the other is like standing out of the water, gazing around.
How do we jump across those little islands?
With movements, and or they're only floating 10 foot in the air, so you guys can, for the most part, climb up them using like 15 foot of movement or something.
Okay, are we rolling initiative?
Yeah, I would do so because y'all didn't really have any particular way out of this that you could immediately take action on. So go ahead and roll initiative.
Here we go.
Another sad thing about these creatures is they have 2 different kinds of attacks, so I can't roll them in my little map tools. All right.
I'm bringing my little dice box back to my computer.
I'll use the bathroom while y'all roll, BRB.
Okay. Okay, here we go.
You like an animal.
I love rolling in person again. My God, I'm so happy I can do this. Ooh. Okay. 23 for initiative. And of course that means beer back. Oh no. Did you get a 3 for initiative?
Maybe.
Did you add your dex bonus?
Yeah.
Oh buddy. Not a natural one.
Shut up.
I also be right back. 1 second. Let them know if I'm not back by then. It's a 23 for initiative for me.
25 to 20, boys.
Oh, never mind. He's back.
I know Damon
I
got
got 23. Yep, I'll be right back. Naomi hasn't rolled yet because she's also be right back. And if she doesn't come back, I'm pretty sure she's taking a shower. So I'll roll for her. Get back.
About you, BL, what'd you get?
A 3.
A 3?
Yep.
That's pretty good. Is that a natural one?
Uh-huh.
Gamer.
Leave me alone. I'm getting bullied.
Yep, get bullied, loser.
This makes me not want to play.
Do what?
I want to go home now.
You're frightened because of the natural one?
Yeah. Ha.
Dudes go, By the way, I don't know what Eden talking about, but he said, "Hey, I just saw this," even though it said seen several hours ago. To my question about if he was going to join, and he said, "If you want, you can go ahead and remove me from this campaign because I'm going to be busy for the next week or two."
Who?
Eden said that. I don't know particularly what he's going to be so busy about, but also that ain't really going to work.
Maybe with D&D stuff. I mean, maybe with theater stuff.
Probably. But a week or two isn't enough for me to remove him from the campaign, because we're likely not going to be playing that consistently because of how slow it's been recently.
Yeah. You ever branded someone before?
What do you mean by that?
You ever heat up hot metal and brand someone?
No, I don't do that often.
Often, so you've done it.
No, I've never done that.
I did it back in 1962.
You weren't born in 1962.
Yeah, it was. I remember it like it was
You would
yesterday.
have to be 50 years old, Chase. You're in high school. Definitely a
Remember,
super senior, bro.
remember it like it was yesterday. It was
Super senior for
January 7th.
real.
It was May 7th, 1972. Robert Knievel was born that day.
Did you just look up all these facts?
No.
You definitely did.
I
Hello?
remember that day because
Hello.
I used to
Has the knee
be
rolled yet?
Knievel's best
No,
friend.
they're not here, I don't think.
I'll roll. Yeah,
You look like
they
bread.
have be right back, so I'll roll. Wow, that's on brand for her. A 22.
22. So, 23, 22. So it goes William,
Nimmy.
Nim, creatures.
I'm gonna guess the. Yep.
Yeah, even if they got a natural one, they're faster than him, I believe. BL. Okay, that's not how you spell the creature's name, but William. You see the creature smash this large floating platform into the ground, pretty much being able to crush anything beneath it. You immediately react. What are you going to react to do?
Okay. How far is the closest one?
The closest one from your position, I'm going to make you this guy, is 100 feet.
Okay, what about the other guy?
The other one is also about 100 feet, but they also have partial cover due to being elevated in the air.
Okay. Well, fuck. Do I go to the one that is active, or do I wait for the one that's probably readying something? Hmm. If I do anything, we're immediately noticed.
If you attack them, yes. Unless you have some way to get off of the map without being seen.
So what's the safe? Okay, so how far do I need to get out to be out of combat and on a safe island to where we need to proceed, keep going to get to the ocean and stuff?
To get out of combat, you both have to break line of sight, and get away far enough so they're not able to chase you.
Could our dimension door get out?
You could dimension door, and that would work for the most part, but you would still be visible. Because after this little bunch of massive islands, there is no more
There's
floating
more.
islands. Like, this
Oh.
there was a chunk of, like, scattered floating dirt. There's a few big chunks of floating dirt, and then there's no more floating islands for a little bit longer. Like, you don't see anything. You can just see it's endless abyss after this, pretty much. Not abyss, but endless.
So where do we go?
You either are going to have to somehow teleport far enough away or break line of sight somehow using illusions. It's up to you to figure it out.
Or kill.
Or kill.
Or kill. And I kinda want to kill. If the worst thing to happen is me and Nimi will dimension door all four of us out. I will. I'll
Well,
just
remember,
blast.
you don't have technically 4 people, but you have
Yeah,
Blind Man, you
3.
have 5 people.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, Godwin has it too. He'll
Yeah, that's
dimension
true.
door us
That's
out
true.
too. We're good. As I'm saying, we have 3 people dimension door. So why not have fun until we have to do that? I'm going to shoot the one that is active.
Alright, roll an attack roll.
I'm at. Okay. I have a +8 because I lost that gem thing. 21 to hit.
21. I believe, yes, that does hit.
Okay, and I'm going to shoot my second one. That's even higher.
Alright.
16
So
plus
2
8
hits against
is
this creature.
24. Okay, so I do 2d10 to this guy, which is not any damage to this dude, I'm going to assume, at all. But I'm going to just try to hurt him. I already have I don't have my blade out, so I have to do that. That is 13 plus 10 damage, so 23 damage.
23 damage to the creature. Six,
Yep, that
five.
is really active.
Okay. You attack the active one. You strike it twice in its back, and it immediately spins around to face you.
And I will summon my sword as my bonus action.
That is the end of your turn, I assume, unless you want to run out into the open.
Back.
Why would I do that?
Welcome back, Nim and William.
Nimi, you're
Not
next.
William, Willow.
Nimi, you're next. We are either fighting and then fleeing or fleeing. It's your choice. I already attacked.
Yes. These are 2 large ape-like creatures, and William has just shot one in the back.
Funsies.
And the island, you're hiding under a floating island right now, and it is seemingly smashing these floating islands on top of the things that are under them's heads.
I think we should be
What are you doing?
standing on an island.
That's fair.
Well, it's 100 foot away, so depending on how fast it can move, it's not really a threat.
She can fly if it's dim, light, or dark.
Yeah, well, it's not really dim light or dark. It's daytime right now. You don't travel during night, otherwise you probably would have got crushed by stones.
Well, she has dimension door. She could get away.
You could.
Yeah, let's dimension door and not have to fight them.
Okay, I guess we're dimension dooring.
So what are you doing, Nim?
Take me out. Take me out. What?
Hear me?
We can hear you now.
We can hear like cuts of what you're saying. Like when you said sure,
Yeah.
which I'm assuming you said sure. We just heard.
We heard shot.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
So you grab BL and Dimension Door. I'm assuming you're a Dimension Door as far away
Out
as
of
you
combat.
can, correct?
Probably.
Yep. Since
Well,
apparently
while we're
we're
not
having
using all the movement,
difficulties, but I have to assume.
Yeah, we'll It would make sense for it to happen like that, anyways.
All right. So you grab BL, and if BL is willing, teleport 500 foot away. That is
BL?
this end of Nim's turn, I guess. She doesn't. She can't cast another
And
spell or anything, so these two are gone. Drag.
I guess it's BL's turns to run away. I'm guessing.
Yep.
Yeah, they can get out.
Let me see.
Okay, cool.
I'm seeing
After-
exactly
after
how
the
far you
gorillas
guys
tur-
get. There we go. After Nim doing that, it is the creature's turn. The creature charges and like shoulders under this large floating platform, disregarding it as if it was a threat at all. And it dashes, using all of its movement, to stand right on top of your little platform. Kind of on the edge. Like grasping it where you can see its legs and it's like looking under. It seems like it's about to smash under you, or smash you under. As it's
Okay.
kind of like curved around it. Yeah, that's all it does. Is it dashes and it is now here. The other one is going to turn, letting him attack that one, and dash to go and start running back over here to try and catch people, seemingly as they're over here now. After Udak's turn,
My turn.
BL, I'm assuming is running.
Yep.
So he runs his 35 foot of movement, and the dash is for 60. William, back to you.
Okay. Which one am I again?
You are going to be man with book in hand here.
Who's the other guy?
This is Godwin and Blind Man.
Just go ahead and say they go away too.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Their turn was already meant to be gone.
Yeah, just let them leave.
Yep, they're out. They have ran away as well.
So if I run, do I get opportunity attacked?
If you run away, yes. He is like lashed where if you get on top of the platform or under the platform, his lower arms can punch you while you're under the platform, and his upper arms can attack you when you're on top of the platform, and he can smash using his upper arms to crush people below. You would have to use
Dimension
a
door.
spell. Dimension door, you teleport away. This
All the way 500 feet. And now I
now
run.
becomes not an initiative battle, but a battle of stamina.
And I
versus
run
these
30
creatures.
feet.
Yeah, and you
I
run
run
30 feet. Like I said, this now
I think
becomes a
I-
battle of stamina. This isn't like these guys are faster than you on foot, but you have spells to supplement that speed. You
Yep.
begin to run, and they begin to run through the endless expanse of Blightshore. They have more time and skill and knowledge on you, but they also have a suspicion that they don't want to leave their little nesting area. This seems to favor them. So, if you can get far enough away, they're likely going to stop chasing you. Over the course of the next hour, you're basically being chased the entire time. Full sprint. These creatures are faster than you, but like I said, you have spells to supplement that. So, I want you guys to, each of you, make a well, no. I won't even do that, because that one kind of screws you over if one of you fail. I want each of you to, not each of you, but I want you guys to come up with a way you're going to extend your speed, hopefully without using your spells, otherwise you're going to be dead of spells by the end of this. But what are you going to do to make sure your party outruns these creatures chasing behind you? And I'll make you roll determining if it's success or failure based on what you say you're going to do. As these
Is this a
creatures are
group
consistently
effort?
catching up on you. This is a group effort. Any one of you can do it, and you're trying to get 3 successes before 3 failures. 3 failures, and you're back stuck in the middle of open nowhere having to fight these things.
Alright, what do you guys have in mind?
We have to succeed.
Do what?
What do we have to succeed?
You guys are coming up with ways to try and make sure your party wins. So say, I'm going to use a magic item, or I'm going to do something to XYZ, slow down the creature, or speed us up, stuff like that. and you have to roll checks to see if that's successful. And you're trying to get 3 successes
Let me
before
get my
you
spell.
failures.
What do we see?
Right now, you see an open expanse with a tree or two. You see the caravan. After a while, during this, the caravan is one option, as it is slower than you. You could try and sacrifice it, but that's going to only happen about 2 checks in. When you get to 2 checks in, the caravan becomes visible, but until then, it's not. So, what are you all doing to try and see if you succeed, or help yourself succeed?
Man, I'm looking at stuff I can do. Let them decide while I'm for their choice. Yeah, look at my stuff real quick. Well, couldn't we all go invisible?
You would have to have each of you an invisibility spell, which not BL doesn't. So, no.
Does what happens if you
Um,
cast invisibility at higher levels?
I don't think anything
uh,
happens.
I
I
think you get more people to be invisible.
Look it up.
I'm going to use. I'm going to turn into a werebear.
Yeah, so you're you're turning into a werebear. That's something you already probably would have done.
Okay, then I'm a little
Oh,
bit.
I can target an additional creature.
Okay, so are you guys just wanting to? Well, invisibility only lasts for like an hour, right? It lasts for an hour.
Yeah, but we can hide in the invisibility spell and just hide away for an hour while they try
Yeah.
to look for us. Oh, they can't
You
get
could
away.
do that. Is that something you're going to try and do? Is hiding with invisibility?
Because I can get one. I can get 3 of us, and then the rest of them can also cast it on everybody else too. Which could be that's just a 3rd level spell of someone casting it on themselves and the other guy. Because they're a party of 5 right now. You guys want to do it?
I mean, you
Yeah.
would have to cast it. I don't think Nim has invisibility. I don't think it's a cleric
Let me
spell.
look.
I think it's a wizard.
No, artificer, bard, sorcerer, warlock, wizard.
So you and Godwin would have to be the ones brunting the spell cost.
The cast. Yep.
So how much, or what level? Well, you only have 1 level. What is it? 4th level?
I have to get 3 people. I have to get 3 people. I can't choose. He can get he can cast it at 3rd
Isn't
level
it-
and just get 2
Isn't
people,
it
which
4
is enough.
people?
A creature you touch becomes invisible as a 2nd level spell.
Oh,
So 3rd
I
level
cast
will be
darkness.
2.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that, Nim. Your
Oh.
thing is you cast darkness to blot out your vision from these creatures. I want you to make an Arcana check to see if you can sustain the darkness long enough and position it correctly so as to blind the creatures from your position. So make an Arcana check to see if your thing succeeds.
That's
Nim.
probably a better idea.
I don't know. Every time I say Nim, I
Arcana?
almost say Willow.
Noella.
Yeah,
Noella.
she is making
Willow.
Arcana to see if she can position it correctly and sustain it long enough. You convince Godwin to go along, so you get 3 people, and he gets 2, so he casts a 2nd level. Wait, no. What level is invisibility? 2nd or
level.
3rd? 3rd?
It'd be a 3rd level spell to get 2 people.
Okay, so Godwin casts a 3rd level spell. You cast your spell, and every one of you turn invisibility. So I want you, William, to make a. I would just say you make the stealth check for the party in this one. 15. What's your Arcana bonus, my dude?
She has a +1, so 16.
16. I would say that's successful. You manage to position the darkness where it's large enough in their view, and as they run closer, it continuously blinds them more and more until they charge through it. And they obviously would have slowed down to make sure you didn't like hide in it or anything. So you managed to extend the
Okay.
distance and succeed 1 time.
25.
25. That's also pretty well. Your party goes invisible just after the darkness is cast and changes directions, running while invisible, keeping your pack close together, losing the creatures even further. That's 2 successes. The caravan now is right in front of you guys. You can probably charge past the caravan as you're darkness, or invisibility, is no longer seeming to help. They seem to be following your footsteps now. The creatures are, so they're back on your trail. They don't know exactly where you are, but you now see the caravan in front of you, and the Udaks are several hundred feet behind you, charging along, following what footsteps you are leaving behind in a pack. You could use the caravan in many ways, coming to your mind which ones.
I didn't.
Do what?
What?
In the caravan.
What about the caravan?
Get in it.
Get
I
in
think
it.
so, what you
Okay,
said.
use it as bodyguards. Is that what you're gonna do? So you guys,
It's not a bad idea.
If that's your idea, make
It's not a bad idea.
Make a persuasion check, Nim. You're trying
Can
to
I give advantage?
sure,
Okay, because we are working together on this.
but it is
Or do you
Nim's
want me to make
idea.
it? Nim, do you want me? Oh yeah,
It's
so Nim
Nim's
does have to
idea.
make
I
it.
would say Nim would do it.
Yeah, so Nim has to roll.
20.
20?
Yeah.
Dirty 20 or natural 20?
Natural 20.
Natural.
Natural 20.
Okay. So
So her roll would be a 22.
you run up and convince your party to drop your invisibility just before you enter it, so as not to scare everything out of these caravan people. You drop your invisibility and more or less shout, "Sorry, we need your assistance. They won't attack a group, right?" And they're like, I guess good logic. At least enough where they don't attack you immediately, fearing your bandits. They understand your intent is to hide and use them as cover, not to attack you, or attack them. And you charge in, ducking behind a few wagons and alerting them to the pursuing beast, which they seemingly already knew about, as several guards ready their weapons. And you see now, they're wielding not regular sword and shield, as you see in most places. A few are. Like 3 or 4 of the caravan people seem proficient with the sword and shield. But the other 16 or so seem proficient with what looks to be muskets, as the entire troop points guns at the creatures and begins to fire in that direction. And creatures, most of them, while dangerous, usually are frightened of loud noises. These ones not so much so, but after the entire volley of shots land around them, and the thunderous retort, as if lightning was striking right next to them, of the bullets scattering and hitting their fur and heavily hided bodies, they begin to retreat, not willing to risk the fight and risk the injuries that come with it. Your party is safe for now, as soon as they are no longer a threat, the caravan master walks up to your party, seemingly one of those highly skilled with the blade, and with 2 people to his sides, each with what looked to be blunderbuss, one-handed blunderbuss particularly, pointing them in your direction. So, what are you going to pay us for our kind service?
I look at him with the light skin stare, as
We
as miraculous as I
have
can.
Would you say, Nim?
Never mind.
We have gold.
Then hand it over. And I would
I look at
recommend all of
Nim.
it.
I look at Nim with like the most dead eyes as he just said that.
Yeah, that's what happens. That's party communication right there. But he just told you,
I'll
to
be
hand
honest with
over
you.
all your gold.
I'll be honest with you. I'll hand it over. Yes. I was gonna be honest with you. I was gonna try to persuade you not to make us give our gold, but guess we're not doing that anymore. And I hand over the pieces of I think is gold.
You hand over the chunks of what look to be gold. He hands them back to one of his
I-
other people as you give them over, and they just take
I don't know if
the
it's.
20 pounds.
I
from
believe
you.
it's gold. I believe it's gold. Don't, don't take my word for it. It just looks like gold. We are broke.
We'll have it checked at the next town.
Okay. Can we come with you or no?
Well, do you know how to survive out here? Do you have any skills that could be of use?
I look at the party worryingly. When's the next town gonna be here? Like how long until?
We have a solid month of travel ahead of us.
Oh fuck.
You've only traveled from when we first spotted you. Well, a solid few miles, yes, but not even a small portion of what we were trying to get to. We're trying to cross over toward the Emerald Gulf.
The Emerald Gulf?
That's the part of the water there.
Oh. What do you guys say? Do you think we should... Or if we do choose to stay with you guys, are we allowed or are we kicked us off nonetheless?
If you have supplies and or useful gear and skills, you can stay. If you have no skills, however, you might as well just take what you have and leave.
That's fair. We are pretty skilled individuals, I would say.
You just ran from 2 Udaks.
Listen, the problem is that, you know, we don't really
He's
know
had
what those
a very
were.
rough day.
We've had a very
You cut out really hard there, Nim.
very rough day, is what she said.
Every day's a
More
rough
like
day in
a-
Blightshore.
Yeah, we've never been around here, that we're new, and we've had a horrible month before even getting to Blightshore, and now we're having a bad week entirely. Just bad. Everything's bad. So we just didn't want to fight. We were pretty skilled, but not. We do not know this place, and we thought we was gonna die probably.
To be fair, Udaks are dangerous. However, if you're just going to be scared the entire time and run away, then you're no use. If a combat happens, you're going to fight it.
Oh yes, we will. Alongside or to protect you, we will fight. Yes, we can fight pretty well.
Do you have your own food and supplies? As your bags are looking light.
Well, we can create our own food and water, but we do have a little bit left, don't we?
Creating
normal
food and
food?
water, now that is a skill that will be useful.
We do have that, and I point over to the person that full on made us lose our gold. That one over there can create every kind of food and water you would want, and purify it if it's diseased.
I cannot purify it.
You can't,
Not today,
well,
but
you can choose that
tomorrow.
every day, so you could purify it. Yeah. As a
She
cleric,
can't
you can
purify
change
it
your
today,
spells
but tomorrow
constantly.
she could. Yeah, every long rest you can change your spells.
Okay.
Fair enough.
One of the best things about a cleric, but she can't purify today, but she can purify tomorrow.
Then
if
the
she
rest
chooses
of
it.
you, stand guard. You, Drow, stand in the wagon. We don't want you getting shot by a stray bullet, do we?
You.
What?
Chase, you can't do that, dude.
What did he do?
He played the stupid the audio for the most overplayed meme right now. That dude making the light skin stare face and a paparazzi place.
What are you talking about?
I don't know, dude. They
You
said he
did.
played a
Dun, dun,
sound
dun,
or
dun.
something.
You played an audio from a really overused meme.
Well, either way,
He
Willow
did.
is led
I heard
In
in,
the club.
or Nim is
Yeah,
led
that one.
into the one of their wagons to stay safe while the rest of you are made to keep watch. And the rest of the 30 days seem mostly uneventful. You get to the mountains, and you run into a few more oddities, though none of them extremely dangerous, as the caravan explains how to avoid them. You run into lightning strikes that just seemingly float in the air, and there's heavy winds accompanying them. They just explain that there's really no way to counter this. You either have to go around it, and then they show you a small trick that they have, put rubber on their wagon wheels so that any lightning that strikes just gets conducted directly to the ground. They also explain whenever you see acid rain again that it only hurts metal. So they just have everybody stand under the wagons, which have little tarp things over them, like most covered wagons do. Later, you run into more creatures. These ones, William particularly remembers and understands, as well as Nim, as they've both been to the crane before. These are the wild versions of moorbounders. They have spikes and claws and look very much like panthers, except with extremely wide eyes and two curved tusks that are in their front. And whenever they harass your group by just kind of being around and trying to look for an opportunity, they just start shooting their muskets in their general vicinity until they flee. You see a large winged creature that looks to be something of the lower plains fly overhead until it gets shot down by what looks to be another caravan passing not too far away. Other than that, though, when you get to the mountains and pass over, the place gets fairly normal. You go back to the average, everyday existence in Wildmount. You've survived most of Blightshore and are just now seeing the edges of the water of the Emerald Gulf. You see an extremely small village, not too far away. Maybe 100, 200 people at most live in this village. Very, very small, likely immigrants and making a new town. And it looks that this place is obviously fresh. Things are constantly under construction. You see probably 4 buildings under construction just now. You see only one major port, and you see 2 boats in that port. One of them under construction. You don't see any major, military or walls or protection. This seems to be a mostly non-threatening part of the world. The only thing that you do see is small palisade-like structures that just face the ocean. There is no structures for defense elsewhere, but as if they're worried that the ocean will come up and grab the town. As your caravan approaches, you amble in, and the town somewhat welcomes you. They don't like the new faces that happen to be here, including you and several new guards that likely have been exchanged for old guards that died. But the town welcomes you nonetheless for the trade, however small it might be. And you guys are in a small, nameless town with one ship to get you back to the Empire, or into the Crane, or all the way to Isocross. Your journey is whatever you want it to be. This is a very small place, and you have no way to pay for passage. So what do you all do in
Because
this
we lost our
small
gold.
town?
What's in this town? How big is the town?
It's small. Like I said, less than 200 people. There is really no shops. There is one inn, and that inn only has 4 rooms. There is one restaurant, and that restaurant only serves fresh meat that they've hunted from the surrounding area. There is a small, what you could say, police force that consists of 10 people that you see continuously patrolling the small amounts of streets. The only remarkable thing you could see is what looks to be a sailing ship, rather large and painted well, obviously a cargo ship of some sort, that it had a name that was marked out and then painted again and marked out and then painted again and then marked out, as if someone really didn't want to name it what it is, and there is no name currently painted where you can see. And you see the crew unloading crates, likely of supplies to build the town further.
Is there a job?
Is there a what?
A job board where we can go to a board, pick out a job, do something?
Not anywhere you see. You go to the tavern and see in this tavern just a regular old middle-aged human woman, blonde-haired, and she's sitting there surprised at your entrance and immediately goes, "Ah, sailors coming in then. Or are you the caravan?"
We're a part of the caravan, yes.
Part of the caravan, then.
The wi-
Um, are you looking for a stay here? I thought you were leaving as soon as you got in.
Hold up, I just heard one of my friends fall out of existence. What did you say? Name. Name. What did you say?
Never mind.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, you probably want to say sailors so we can get the boat. Easier.
Well, you have
Anyways.
the captain isn't. Why would the captain not let the captain ain't gonna let you on just because you
We're
said?
gonna kill the captain. We're gonna kill the captain anyways.
Um, but
We're
you
gonna
say
get the boat
caravan.
somehow.
So you're looking for rooms. I thought you were leaving as soon as you came in.
Oh no, they were just dropping us off.
Oh, so
What is this
you're
town
migrants
called?
then.
Pretty much. Just to know, what is this town called?
This town at the moment, I don't think has any official name. I believe, I think they're calling it the Ruby of the Emerald, something along those lines. They might change it. That or
I have a cool name.
it's either the Ruby of the Emerald or the Sapphire of the Emerald or the Emerald. It's really confusing. The
What about the
leaders of
Emerald
the
City?
town don't like that. That is a good suggestion, yes, but I have no say. The captain is the one that was, or the captain and their close friends are the one that ordered the construction of the town and paid us to come down here and offered us new lands. Of
I like
course.
the Emerald City. The Emerald City might be a good name.
I'll suggest it.
Okay. Might even go see the. I might even go see him and talk to him about it.
You probably do want to see
Captain.
the captain unless you're planning on like staying here. He only comes back because it's such a long sail, about once a year.
Oh no. We are hopefully leaving. Just coming to check by for a little bit, and we're gonna try to go
If you
again.
want rooms, it is about a silver a night here.
Yeah. We'll get a. We might get a room later, maybe.
Fair enough. If
What's
you're
your
looking
name?
for work, I would ask the captain again. Captain's like that or the
Thank God.
guardsman. That's like the only two places I would even check around here. Most jobs are filled.
What's your name?
Uh, my name is Isabel.
Isabel. Um, don't think this is like an act of killing you. I pulled the 3 alcohols. I want to know if these are poisoned or not. If you could check.
I would
I
have
f-
no
I found
idea
I
how I would check that.
I don't know. I don't know. I was just making sure if you could. Cause I don't know. You bartend or something. There's probably alcohol here.
I
Maybe
have
like compared.
alcohol, but it's imported alcohol from the captain's ship
Mm.
and his fleet.
You know anyone that could take a look at this?
Not really. There is a minor priest in the city, or the town, village. But he is so minor that all he can do is stop you from dying. He can't even heal your wounds.
And then me. Is Emmy here?
I don't know. Guess not. Maybe.
Guess she's somewhere else. Okay, well, thank you for your time. I might come back.
What?
Oh, you're back. Do you have the spell that can purify or check if these are diseased?
You could have picked this morning.
You could have picked it any time in the entire month.
Yep.
You could have picked it halfway through the month, checked them, and then this would have never happened. And you could have kept another spell instead. You wanna do that?
Yeah.
Was
Okay,
that
halfway through the
did you
month.
just scream into your microphone?
Halfway through the month, Trent, we purify the alcohol.
Okay, you purified the alcohol then, and for some
Okay.
reason still decided to ask this woman.
That gets deleted.
Yeah, retro.
No, I ask her and then go, wait, never mind, we did that half a month. Sorry, I have. What's it called? I don't care. And I leave.
You head back outside the tavern. I think it's so funny the way Nim has to talk. Like you're like, "Are you here, Nim?" and she doesn't respond. And all of a sudden, I just hear like as far away as you could possibly be. Like sounds like she's on the other side
You
of
can
the room.
hear,
Just what?
yeah, you can hear like slowly come back. All right, I
But
guess we would go to the captain all together to try to get a job. I'll give off the suggestion of the name and try to get a boat ride after that.
I'm assuming everybody follows because there's really nothing else to do here.
That's a It's a new town.
Yeah, it's a very new town. Not just for you, but for the entire town.
Yes,
Uh,
I'm saying it's a new city. Diamond City, it's an actual like
Literally,
town.
I would consider it a village right now.
Yeah.
But you walk your way over to the captain's ship. I've been here. You can't hear me because my phone, if messed up, is probably messed up. So
Let me
her
look at
phone's
that.
messed up right now, Willow's. But you guys head over to the
I've been
captain's
here.
ship
You can't hear me.
and
Yeah.
see a more detailed visual of it, and notice that it is both geared for war and cargo shipness. And you also, as you begin to exit closer to the town, catch sight of other ships docked not too far away, particularly two other ships. There's about 3 in this small fleet of whoever's. But as you approach the first ship and see the crew working away, one of them just kind of stands up. What looks to be a tiefling fellow, purple for the most part, pure
God,
black
fuck.
horns. And he walks over and just goes, yeah, how could I help you?
Trent.
What?
Trent.
What? Do something. What are you
I
doing?
hate you. I hate you so much. Do I recognize this guy as I know what Mighty Nine is?
Make a history check for me.
Because I know the Mighty Nine, but this character was gone fairly fast.
This one
so I
wouldn't
do.
really be, even if it is who you think it is, wouldn't really be part of the Mighty Nine.
Yeah, but I might have recognized them with that group. Would I make a history check?
Yeah, history check.
That's a natural 20.
Natural 20. You notice this man is known as Kingsley Tea Leaf. And he stands up and looks over at you. And I don't know how to do an Irish accent. He has
I
an
know.
Irish
I
accent.
saw you try. I
He
know.
has a pretty thick Irish accent. And he stands up and wipes his hands off.
Oh,
How can I help
Tommy
you?
Kinley, you look like a horse.
Yeah. You look
Oh,
like
oh
a
my-
horse,
oh my
mate.
God.
How can he help you?
Oh, oh my God! I've heard about you guys' adventures. You were part of the Mighty Nine for a little bit. Is
No, not
Ford
really.
your captain? Well, you were-
Not on
I
this
saw
ship.
you
I'm
with
the
them.
captain on this ship.
Oh,
He is on the other ship, and another person. What's the name? Lavore
just
is on the other ship.
Oh.
Even there's 2 ships. One is Ford's. One is Jester's.
You see him like you see William almost like fanboy over these group, but keeps us calm. Okay, sorry, Kingsley, we was for 3 things. First of all, give me a minute. We were looking. First of all, we heard that you were looking for a name for this town.
Well, I'm not the guy who decides the town. I'm
Oh.
just one of the. I'm one of the fleet. Ford is the master of the fleet. All in all, he is the captain.
Understandable.
But you could tell me, and I will pass it along.
So I heard something about the Emerald or something. So I thought either the Emerald City, as it's pretty basic but pretty good, or just the Emerald. I don't know. Either it's pretty okay.
Well, we were
Just-
arguing. I prefer, personally, the ruby, because tieflings and Jester's mother.
Yeah. River of the
Um,
Sea. yes,
Ford
yes.
said emerald, and Jester kind of sides with him, but also like sapphire. I'll pass along your
What
suggestion.
about the Sapphire? What about the Sapphire Emerald? Nah, never mind. Um, Secondly, we heard we could have asked you for a job.
Yeah. It ain't much around here to do. Um, I can use people on my ship if you know how to sail. Don't really look like you do though.
We have. We've sailed before, yes. Have we, Trent? Yes, we have.
You have
We,
sailed, but you weren't
yes.
sailors. You were paying passengers.
We could help, yes. I was gonna ask if we could get on your ship for a little bit as a ride, so I guess that kind of equals out if you allow us.
Well, if you know how to fight,
We do know how to
um,
fight, yes.
then if you'll follow my orders, or whoever's orders you tried to throw in here, then yes, I will let you on my ship. I would have a small favor to ask beforehand.
Anything.
There has been a strange tiefling fellow kind of stalking me in this town. I don't remember taking him over here. He's been here for the last 2 days or so. And well, yeah, I want you to at least figure out what his deal is. All right? He said he was waiting for people, but I don't
Where is
remember
he?
sailing him over here.
Where is he right now?
I don't know where he is now, but I think he's down at the construction site for the library. He talked to me there when I was delivering stuff with my crew.
So, find out the deal about this. You said red tiefling?
Yeah,
Right.
red tiefling fellow, one eye. He seems to be able to follow along in my footsteps, if you know my abilities.
I've heard about them.
Yes. And if you either convince him to leave us alone,
Wait.
or at least figure out why he is being so annoying, then yes,
You
I will let you
you
on.
s- you say you say red tiefling that has capable abilities like yours,
Yes, but he has
right?
one eye. That's his main identifying feature, and he also wields, I believe, more than one weapon.
Is he talking about Tarmal?
I
Tarmal
think he
has two
is.
eyes.
Oh, he has two eyes still?
Yeah, Tarmal didn't get blinded by anyone for any reason, so
I thought he had only one eye
nope.
this
By the
entire
way,
time.
since William and Damien is the only one who actually knows the full description of this character, purple tiefling man, slightly taller than average height, black horns that curve over his head and like do a little spiral thing. His eyes are entirely red and have no pupils. He is wearing frivolously fancy outfits and wildly bright colors. He is, just by his stance, obviously a trickster kind of fellow. He's already like a cocky kind of dude you would expect a pirate to be like, as he leans over the crate he just set down when you walked up to him.
And his class is Blood Hunter.
Yes, and the weapons he carry are two large scimitar-like weapons. Falchion scimitar-like weapons, but mostly scimitari.
And he has like golden rings in his horns.
Yeah, he
I
has
remember
all
that.
sorts of baubles and as brightly colored and as many jewelry pieces as you can have. He even has earrings. He has a nose piercing. As he's talking, you see a piece of his tongue flash. Obviously, a piercing there as well.
And the egg dick.
They don't see that though; it's covered up.
I remember it. I was there.
No,
I was
what?
there. He has an
He's
egg dick.
referencing campaign 2 of Critical Role.
Yeah, the carrot. This guy has an egg dick.
Um, but yeah, that's
I know.
the job he's offering you, is to go see what this tiefling's up to, and if if
William
you can
knows who
solve
this
the
guy
issue,
is.
good.
Are you
William
serious?
knows. Yeah, he has an egg dick. It's canon.
Why
Yeah.
do you say, how can you say that so casually? I would die laughing. That's so
Because it's just a normal thing.
Yeah,
It's a normal
it's
thing.
super normal to have an egg dick, even though it was on
Yeah.
purpose. He did it on purpose. That was a purposeful creation of his.
Yep. So it's okay. It's a canon thing. We'll go check it out.
Actually, not even his, but yeah.
Hey,
Just the same body.
it's yeah, same. Oh yeah, it wouldn't actually be
Because this is Kingsley, not
his.
Molly.
This is King. It's still the same body part.
Yeah, I know.
He just has a different mental brain. Same bodily
But what
functions.
are
I
you
know what he
guys
has.
doing?
We go to the whatever he said the red tiefling is.
All right, you head over to your best guess of where the library is under construction, and you see several people actively working on building it, and see a red tiefling just milling about the area, seemingly waiting on people to show up. I want first be able to make a wisdom check. And also William,
Hello?
you immediate no, yeah, BL needs to make wisdom.
Hello?
And hello.
Hello, Nimi.
And William, you know who this guy
Why
is.
did everyone stop talking?
Do what?
Oh, she didn't hear a single thing we just did.
Oh, I did not.
How long ago?
Oh,
Did you hear about the Kingsley
the
character?
Dick.
Guys, I just want to point out, I agree that we need to go
What?
find that dude and get on the ship and do it. I'm gonna have to go AFK for the rest of the session.
What?
I'm gonna have to go AFK for the rest of the session.
Okay. He's gone.
Okay, we'll just give a description of what happened.
Yeah. What happened was the party, after leaving the tavern, they walked over to the captain. They realized the first person they met was a character from Campaign 2 named, Critical Role Campaign 2, named Kingsley Tealeaf. William fanboyed and then asked how he could get a ride on the ship so that you guys could exit, this place. And he said to figure out why this one-eyed red tiefling would not stop annoying them every time they came onto port. And he said he was new. What?
When we left. She's back. Oh.
This is a one-man party.
Bro.
Can you hear us now?
Nim.
Yeah.
Okay.
There
We talked to the pirate captain, which was a character from Critical Role Campaign 2. William fanboyed, talked about his egg dick. We are now going to this red tiefling that is bothering him because he doesn't know who he is and he's waiting for someone. And we're gonna go interrogate pretty much.
Okay.
To try to get a ride on the ship.
Yeah. The character in particular that he saw was a character named Kingsley Tealeaf. They're a purple tiefling with a bunch of fancy clothing and all sorts of jewelry on them. And they're obviously a sort of piratey kind of character. They have that stance about them. And as they approached, BL need to make a wisdom check, but I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm just going to say he failed it and doesn't know who this guy is. However, you know this to be the dragon fellow that you know that is your friend from the Green Dynasty.
Oh no! No, fuck. We're gonna destroy everything.
You dead?
This is the adult red.
Yep, this is
This
William's
is the
friend.
adult red dragon.
William's friend, adult red dragon. So what do you do? He's
So
just standing there
my
waiting,
turn?
leaning against the wall.
Does he see me anywhere?
He doesn't seem to be looking for you, so he his eye passes over you, and he doesn't even seem to pay attention. Like, he doesn't catch that it's you. He's looking for someone else, it seems.
I mean, you just see William first of all fanboy over Kingsley, now looking at this guy reminiscing on old times, kind of being like, oh my god, it's like dads after 20 years of not checking out with each other, being like, I know that dude, kind of face, being like, oh my god, I forgot what I named this guy. Let me go look. Oh wait, yeah I do. It was anything.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, it's a female anything.
Okay, I'm gonna alter that a little bit, considering you didn't tell me that. This guy's a man, by the way, now, because I described him as a man several times So this guy's a man, not a female, but his name's still
But
anything.
the name, yeah, anything, but it's a male.
Okay. You see anything. It's red tiefling leaning against
Yeah, we have
one of the construction posts.
we have something, the adult gold dragon, and we got anything, the adult red dragon.
Yep. So are you gonna walk over and talk to him?
Okay.
I like clap and I just like go over to him, and I like try to dab him up if he lets me.
You walk over, and
Oh
as you
my
like
God.
raise your hand to dab him up, he looks confused and like steps back off the post, and then shakes your hand, and like gives you a pat on the back, and just goes, "Hey man, it's been a long time."
I
And
know,
as you're
dude. When
embraced
was the
in
last
this,
time?
you feel unreasonable strength as you kind of know his secret, though you're not.
Yeah, I
100
know.
Yeah, you know his secret. You're not 100%, but you're solidly sure that he is a dragon of some kind, likely red.
Yeah.
And with this unreasonable strength, he steps back, and that's where we're going to end the session. It's
At
a
8:49?
we have 2 players, Damien.
That's okay. That's fair.
We cannot continue with no party members, and after him saying, "It's been a long time, my friend," and stepping back, that's where we end the session. And next time, you're going to try and figure out what his deal is, earn passage with Kingsley, Ford, and Jester, and do whatever you do on that sailor adventure.
This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun.
It's going to be pretty interesting, yeah.
It's gonna be really fun. Okay, Trent. Is the adult red dragon that was fighting the Draco Lich the same guy as this one right here? As anything?
I'm surprised you got that so quickly.
I thought of it whenever I saw an adult red dragon. I'm like, is this? I know this is a dragon because you finally described it as an adult red. I'm like, is this anything?
Yeah, it's the same dude.
Is this
As the
my
plan
boy?
for him to be is the same dude,
Is
and
it-
he was
is this my
waiting
boy?
on seemingly someone other than you. As I'm just going to say, Nim and William are the ones that actually approached. The guy in BL was probably still back at the ship or whatever. But yeah, that's the session. Try and play sometime later this week.
Dear God, Trent.
I have incorporated most of the Mighty Nine now.
Yes, you have. You've incorporated 4.
I haven't incorporated Caleb, and I
5.
haven't incorporated Caduceus.
5 of the 9 actually, because you incorporated the that wizard guy. Wasn't he part of it? No, you didn't.
No,
incorporate
that's
him
the
yet.
son. That's the son.
Yeah.
Of
So
not
you've
the red.
gotten 4.
Yeah, I have to get Caduceus and Caleb at some point.
Yasha and Beauregard,
Yeah, Caduceus, Caleb, Yasha, Beauregard are the ones I have to incorporate.
and that one wizard that is dating Caleb.
Essek, he's not really part of the 99, but he'll probably be in
He
it at
is
some
now.
point. You guys like avoided the
is.
cream. I really thought you were going to do the cream, and you guys avoided
Really?
it entirely.
Really?
I figured, I didn't figure you were going to go to the middle of literally nowhere where there is no big settlements.
Trent, I have a question for you. Would you believe that we would have went the normal route?
Yeah. Yeah, I should
Oh.
have guessed that you guys would have done something obviously out of the way.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to just have a boring trip to the green. I want
I
to go
mean-
somewhere cool.
That wouldn't really be a boring trip.
Fair.
There would be a lot. I was going to plan for you guys to go to Bazozan and more or less be there and have to walk through the barbed fields or whatever. Alright, I'm ending the recording now. I forgot to do that.